You close your eyes and sink into the night. But the night itself is not empty. It is a workshop, a temple, a theater, where the greatest power in the universe takes your whispered words and turns them into living substance. Most men fall asleep with worry, with fear, with regret. They plant thorns in the fertile soil of the subconscious and wake up to find their lives overgrown with weeds. But you tonight, you will not let fear be your gardener. You will not let doubt be the architect of your destiny. You will enter sleep as a master enters his palace, commanding wealth, commanding freedom, commanding divine abundance to rise within you like the morning sun. Do you not see, my friend, that every night is an open door into the infinite? And if you dare to step through it with faith, the riches of heaven and earth are laid at your feet. There is a law written into the very fabric of creation. What is impressed upon the subconscious mind is expressed in your life. Say it softly to yourself now. Let it echo in the chambers of your being. What is impressed is expressed. This is no idle phrase. It is the reason why nations rise and fall, why men of humble birth ascend to thrones, why wealth flows to some like rivers and flees from others like a ghost. Your subconscious does not argue, it does not reason, it accepts the dominant idea, and it obeys. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, you are the king before his loyal army. The orders you give will be carried out with absolute precision. Command poverty, and poverty will march into your life. Command wealth, and wealth will obey. This is the law of life, the law of belief. And I tell you, whisper it on your pillow until it sings in your veins, it is done unto you as you believe. Do not think of wealth as gold coins stacked in a banker's vault, or numbers flashing on a screen. Wealth is a river, an endless current flowing from the one divine source. You are a channel, a vessel, through which that current moves. If you dam it up with fear, if you choke it with envy, if you pollute it with resentment, the flow diminishes and dries. But if you open wide with faith, with gratitude, with expectancy, it rushes in avalanches of abundance. Listen to me. Your wealth is not out there. It is in here. It is not waiting in tomorrow. It is now, waiting for your word. Close your eyes and feel it like golden light filling your body, your mind, your heart. You are not pleading with a distant God to drop coins from the sky. You are awakening to the river within you, the infinite stream of divine supply. Many men go to sleep with chains around their hearts. They rehearse their failures, they whisper their grievances, they cling to the insults of the day like beggars clutching rags. And then they wonder why life deals them the same cards again and again. But you are different. Tonight you take off the chains. Tonight you release the past. Tonight you let divine love dissolve everything unlike itself. The resentments, the bitterness, the guilt, the fear, all of it melts like ice in sunlight. Do not think you are losing anything, you are gaining freedom. And in freedom, wealth comes. For wealth is harmony made visible, abundance incarnate, divine order revealed. Say within, divine love dissolves everything unlike itself. Let it sink into your subconscious as a seed that will blossom into health, into joy, into riches beyond measure. Do you know why the words I am are the most powerful in the world? Because whatever you attach to I am, you become. The subconscious takes it as law, as command, as reality. The beggar says, I am poor, and his mind digs deeper into the ditch. The anxious man says, I am afraid, and fear multiplies in his blood. But the awakened man, the man who understands the secret, speaks differently. He says, I am wealthy, I am prosperous, I am a child of the infinite. And because he impresses these words with faith and feeling, his life becomes a mirror of them. As you drift into sleep, fasten these words to your soul like a crown. I am one with wealth and wisdom, free of fear and doubt. Repeat it until your very bones believe it, until your subconscious accepts it as the only truth. Consider this. Every empire, every invention, every great fortune was first a thought, a dream, an image, held in the unseen realm before it appeared in stone and gold. The subconscious is the womb of creation, and tonight you enter it with sacred purpose. See yourself surrounded by beauty, by plenty, by opportunities that unfold with divine timing. Imagine the home you wish to live in, the work that fulfills you, the friendships that uplift you. Hold them not as distant wishes, but as present realities. For your subconscious does not know time. It only knows belief. Impress the picture with faith, and life will project it on the screen of space. Say it again. What is impressed is expressed. The man who doubts, who says, I will try, I hope, maybe one day, is like a farmer scattering seed on rock. Nothing grows. But the man who believes, who says, I know, I am, it is mine now, plants in rich soil, and the harvest is inevitable. Do not beg life for scraps. Do not crawl at the feet of circumstance. Stand tall as a divine sun, a daughter of the infinite, and speak with authority. I am wealth. I am success. I am abundance in form and substance. The subconscious will bow to your conviction, and heaven and earth will conspire to fulfill it. I tell you tonight, the power that made you can remake you. The power that created worlds can create wealth in your life. But it waits upon your word. Your subconscious is your book of light, your treasure house, your hidden architect. Fill it with poverty, it will build you rags. Fill it with wealth, it will raise you palaces. Never again finish a negative statement. Reverse it immediately, and wonders will happen. Do not say, I can't afford this. Say, I can afford all things through the riches of God within me. Do not say, I will fail. Say, I succeed through the wisdom of my subconscious. Speak life, and life will answer. Speak wealth, and wealth will appear. Now, as you drift toward sleep, let these words be your companions. Breathe them into your heart. Let them sink into your subconscious like golden seeds. I am one with wealth and wisdom, free of fear and doubts. Wealth flows to me like a river of light. Abundance surrounds me, fills me, clothes me. Divine order governs my life. Divine love saturates my mind. Divine riches manifest in every step I take. These words are not idle sounds. They are commands to the infinite within you. Repeat them with faith, with quiet joy, and know that as you sleep, the work is done. For it is done unto you as you believe. And as the night deepens, the silence becomes your ally. In silence, the conscious mind surrenders its restless questioning, and the subconscious rises to receive instruction. You must understand the secret. The last thought you hold before you surrender to sleep is the command that echoes through your entire being. If that thought is fear, fear multiplies. If that thought is failure, failure stalks you. But if that thought is wealth, if it is divine abundance, if it is harmony and success, then all the invisible forces of creation move to bring it into form. Do not underestimate the final word you give yourself tonight. It is the seed of tomorrow, the blueprint of your future. Choose wisely, for your subconscious will not argue, it will only obey. Now imagine yourself walking through a vast garden at night. The soil is black and rich, waiting for seed. Each word you speak is a seed. Each image you hold is a seed. Each emotion you release is a seed. You cannot plant weeds and expect roses. You cannot sow fear and expect abundance. You must deliberately plant wealth, plant love, plant faith. Your subconscious is this garden. It does not resist you. It does not question whether the seed is noble or ignoble, beautiful or ugly. It accepts all, and it multiplies. This is why the careless man destroys himself with idle words, and why the wise man prospers with affirmations. Say to yourself as you lie down, I am sowing wealth into the garden of my mind, and wealth shall rise like golden harvest. Remember, every image you impress must be soaked with feeling, for emotion is the water that makes the seed grow. A man may say, I am wealthy without conviction, and nothing happens. But let him say it with faith. Let him feel the reality of it in his bones. Let him rejoice as though it were already so, and the subconscious is compelled to express it. This is the law of life. And I urge you now, do not merely repeat words as lifeless sounds. Infuse them with the warmth of belief, the fire of desire, the fragrance of joy. Close your eyes and feel the weight of coins in your hands, the comfort of abundance in your home, the freedom of financial ease in your life. Let your heart dance with it, and your subconscious will make it flesh. Every night you are building a temple within yourself. Thought by thought, affirmation by affirmation, you are laying stones, carving arches, raising domes. Some build temples of fear, where every wall is carved with the words, I cannot, I lack, I fear. Others build temples of resentment, and wonder why their lives echo with loneliness. But you tonight, you will build a temple of wealth. The pillars will be joy, the walls will be peace, the foundation will be faith. When you sleep, this temple rises in the invisible world, and soon enough, it appears in the visible. Do not despise small beginnings. The temple grows with every night, every repetition, every seed of affirmation. Consider how the subconscious obeys even foolish suggestions. A man hypnotized to believe he is freezing will shiver, his skin turning pale. Another, told he is burning, will sweat though the room is cold. If such trivial commands can alter the body, how much more will your divine affirmations alter your destiny? Say with authority, I am abundance, I am success, I am guided by infinite wisdom. Your subconscious does not argue, it simply takes the order and sets the entire machinery of life into motion to fulfill it. Tonight you are the hypnotist of your own mind, but instead of folly, you command greatness. Never forget that every condition in your life is the shadow of your inner state. Poverty is not a curse from outside, it is a mirror of inner scarcity. Wealth is not a gift from fortune, it is the reflection of inner abundance. Life mirrors your inner state. If you wish to change the picture, change the slide in the projector. Do not wrestle with shadows on the wall, alter the film in your mind. Tonight you replace the old images of lack with visions of plenty. You replace the anxious thoughts of bills with images of overflowing supply. You replace the fear of tomorrow with the certainty of divine order, and the mirror of life will reflect the new picture with absolute fidelity. There are men who try to change others, who beg, who manipulate, who fight to force life to give them what they desire. But they are fools, for there is no one to change but yourself. When you change your inner belief, your outer world shifts without effort. A woman who believed herself unloved found love when she affirmed divine companionship. A man who feared poverty found riches when he affirmed divine abundance. They did not beg, they did not manipulate, they impressed the subconscious, and life obeyed. Tonight you are no longer a beggar of circumstance. You are a master of the unseen, and you command with love, with faith, with certainty. Now let us anchor the truth with repetition, for repetition engraves it into the subconscious. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and say, I am wealthy now. I am prosperous now. I am rich in mind, rich in spirit, rich in life. Wealth flows to me freely, endlessly, irresistibly. Divine love surrounds me, divine wisdom guides me, divine abundance fills my life. Say it again, not as hope but as fact, not as wish but as law. Say it until your heart believes, until your subconscious accepts, until the truth burns brighter than all past doubts. The more you repeat, the deeper it sinks, the sooner it manifests. And as you drift closer to sleep, let these affirmations be the lullaby of your soul. I am a river of life, and wealth flows through me. I am a golden channel for abundance, and nothing can block my flow. I am guided by infinite intelligence, and every step I take is ordered in prosperity. Divine love dissolves everything unlike itself, and only good remains. These words are not fragile sounds. They are eternal commands, engraved in the living tablet of your subconscious. Rest now, knowing that the work is done, and the harvest is assured. The mind is a garden, and every night before sleep, you become both the sower and the soil. You stand with seeds in your hand, and the earth of your subconscious is open, fertile, waiting. There is no question of whether it will grow, for the law is absolute. The only question is, what will you plant? The careless man scatters weeds of doubt and fear, and by morning those weeds have already begun their invisible climb. But the wise man plants deliberately. He presses into the soil the seed of wealth, of confidence, of joy, and when he rests, the earth works silently, invisibly, multiplying the seed. Tonight you are that wise man. Tonight your words are seeds, your emotions are water, your faith is the sunlight, and the harvest will come, not as chance, not as fortune, but as law. It is written, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Life cannot be tricked, and the subconscious cannot be deceived. If you sow fear, fear returns. If you sow resentment, resentment meets you on the road. But if you sow divine abundance, the universe bends to deliver it. Imagine this, every thought tonight is like currency placed into an eternal account. Whatever you deposit will pay you back with interest. Deposit lack, and lack compounds. Deposit wealth, and wealth multiplies until it fills your life. This is why your last thoughts before sleep are so critical, for they set the account in motion. Choose carefully what you deposit tonight, and you will find your waking hours rich with its return. The subconscious is like a faithful servant, but it is also like a mirror. It reflects without argument, it obeys without hesitation. When you say, "I am poor," the mirror shows poverty. When you say, "I am unloved," the mirror reflects loneliness. But speak with conviction, "I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am divinely provided for," and the mirror shines back riches, opportunity, prosperity. You may not see it at once, but the reflection is forming. Just as a seed takes time to rise through the soil, so does wealth take time to show in the visible. But the process is certain, inevitable, unstoppable. Keep the mirror filled with noble images, and the reflection cannot fail. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between the real and the vividly imagined. A man who believes he is cursed may wither though no curse exists. A woman who believes she is blessed will flourish though her conditions appear harsh. Do you see the power of belief? It is the architect of reality. Tonight, use it deliberately. Imagine yourself already wealthy. See yourself walking freely with no burden of lack. Feel the weight of financial ease, the relief of abundance, the confidence of prosperity. Let every cell in your body taste it. Let your heart rejoice as though it is already yours. For in truth it is. The subconscious accepts it as law, and what is impressed is expressed. Understand this. Wealth is not only money. It is peace of mind. It is creative expression. It is love in your home, joy in your heart, freedom in your days. When you affirm wealth, you affirm the totality of abundance. You are not asking for coins. You are aligning with the infinite source. The same power that created galaxies flows through you, and it knows no limitation. Say it gently but firmly. I am a free-flowing channel of divine abundance. Wealth, peace, joy, and love flow through me in perfect harmony. Feel these words as living truth, for they are. And as you sleep, your subconscious carries them out with precision, weaving them into the fabric of your destiny. Never again say, "I cannot." For the moment you do, your subconscious accepts the limitation as fact and builds your life around it. Reverse the negative instantly. If you think, "I cannot afford this," replace it with, "I can afford all things through the riches of God within me." If you think, "I will fail," replace it with, "I succeed because infinite intelligence guides me." The law is simple. Never finish a negative statement. Always replace it with the opposite. Train your mind as a watchman at the gate, letting only wealth, only truth, only abundance pass into the inner sanctuary. In time it becomes natural, and wealth flows without resistance. History is filled with men and women who changed their destiny by changing the seed in their subconscious. The young man who once trembled at poverty, but chose to affirm abundance, found his life transformed. The woman who healed her body by releasing resentment and affirming divine love lived in health again. The engineer who faced obstacles but affirmed divine order completed his tasks with success. What they did, you can do. Their secret is no secret at all. It is the law, and the law is universal. What is impressed is expressed. Say it now, let it engrave itself in your mind. What is impressed is expressed. Close your eyes and picture yourself like a great tree. Roots deep in the infinite source, branches heavy with fruit. Each affirmation tonight is fruit ripening on the tree of your life. You need not beg the tree to bear fruit. It is its nature. You need not struggle for abundance. It is your nature when you align with the infinite. Wealth, like fruit, is not forced. It is allowed. Your part is only to keep the roots deep in faith, the trunk strong with belief, the branches open to the sun of divine love, and the harvest comes naturally, abundantly, inevitably. Now let the affirmations seal themselves in your heart. Say with conviction, as though writing upon the very fabric of the universe, I am one with the infinite source of wealth. I am abundance in action, prosperity in form, success in motion. Wealth surrounds me, wealth flows through me, wealth expresses as me. Fear dissolves, doubt vanishes, resentment melts away. I am free, I am provided for, I am divinely supplied in all ways. Repeat it as you drift toward sleep, not as a wish but as fact, not as a hope but as eternal law. And know beyond all doubt that as you sleep, your subconscious carries the command into action, and wealth is born. There is a power within you that never sleeps, never tires, never pauses for rest. While your conscious mind fades into slumber, the subconscious remains awake, vigilant, creative, ceaselessly shaping your destiny. Think of it as the silent builder, the unseen artist, constantly painting upon the canvas of your life the pictures you hand it. If those pictures are born of fear, then fear is painted across your days. If they are born of doubt, then doubt becomes the architecture of your tomorrow. But if you hand it wealth, abundance, joy, faith, then it fashions your life into a palace of prosperity. Tonight you will give your subconscious golden blueprints, and it will begin building in silence, brick by brick, until the visible matches the invisible. The law is this: every thought is a cause, and every condition an effect. Say it aloud if you can, for it is worth engraving into your soul. Every thought is a cause, every condition an effect. Do not blame circumstances, do not curse fate, for both are shadows of your inner world. If you do not like the harvest, change the seed. If you do not like the picture, change the slide. This is not philosophy, it is law, as certain as gravity. And tonight you wield this law as a master, not as a victim. You choose the cause, and you dictate the effect. What was once random becomes deliberate. What was once chaos becomes order. As you sink deeper into rest, I want you to imagine your subconscious as a ship's crew, waiting on your orders. The conscious mind is the captain, the one who speaks commands. If the captain says, "We are sinking," the crew obeys. If the captain says, "Sail toward abundance," the crew obeys. They do not argue, they do not reason, they do not question, they carry out. Tonight you are the captain of your soul. You no longer cry, "I am doomed." You no longer whisper, "I am poor." You command, "I am wealthy, I am prosperous, I am divinely guided into abundance." And your crew, tireless and loyal, sets the entire ship of your life toward those waters. The greatest mistake men make is falling asleep as beggars, when they could fall asleep as kings. They let their last thoughts be complaints, and so life continues to hand them more reasons to complain. But you, my friend, will fall asleep tonight as a king. You will lie down in the palace of your own mind, crown yourself with affirmations, robe yourself with divine love, and declare with authority, "I am rich in every good way. The world within me is abundant, and the world around me must reflect it. For as within, so without, as above, so below. The law cannot be broken, and the law works through you tonight." Consider the story of Caruso, who stood trembling before an audience, his conscious mind filled with fear. But he gave an order inwardly. He commanded his deeper self, "Little me is afraid, big me must sing." And the subconscious obeyed, filling him with calm and strength, and he triumphed. This same power waits in you now. The little you may fear, but the greater you, the divine self within. Tonight you say to your subconscious, "Big me must prosper, big me must flourish, big me must succeed." And so it will be. Do not argue with appearances. You may say, "But I see lack in my bank account. I see debt in my bills." Appearances are shadows. They are echoes of old beliefs. They are not final. They are not absolute. They are not law. The true law is this: what you impress now will be expressed later. The shadow will change when the inner light changes. Never again bow to shadows. Bow only to truth. And the truth is abundance. The truth is supply. The truth is divine order. Impress this truth tonight, and the shadows of lack must vanish with the dawn. Now I want you to feel wealth, not merely think it. Thinking without feeling is like planting seed without water. Close your eyes and breathe in the sensation of abundance. Imagine walking freely into any store, choosing what you desire without fear. Imagine your home filled with beauty, your life filled with opportunities, your heart filled with peace. Feel the relief of bills paid with ease, the joy of giving generously, the quiet strength of knowing you are secure. Do not wait for tomorrow to feel it. Feel it now, and your subconscious accepts it as law. Say to yourself, "I am the captain of my soul. I am the master of my fate. My subconscious mind carries out my commands faithfully, and tonight I command abundance. I am wealthy. I am prosperous. I am free. Wealth flows to me now in avalanches of abundance. My cup overflows with divine supply, and nothing can block it." Say it not timidly, but with the quiet authority of a king who knows his word is law. Let it sink deeply, past the surface mind into the fertile soil of the subconscious. There it takes root, and from that root a new destiny grows. And now as you drift further into rest, let the affirmations be the lullaby of your soul. I am one with the source of infinite wealth. I am guided. I am provided for. I am free. My subconscious works day and night, bringing to pass the riches of the infinite. I trust, I rest, I allow, and so it is. Sleep now as a king, and wake as a master of destiny. Every night is a rebirth, and every sleep a quiet resurrection.
You do not enter darkness as a victim of the day. You enter it as a creator, carrying the blueprint of your tomorrow. The thoughts you release as you sink into silence are not lost. They are etched upon the eternal fabric of your subconscious. And the subconscious, vast and tireless, begins at once to weave them into form. Tonight you are not a beggar asking life for scraps. You are a king, issuing decrees. Your subconscious is your kingdom. Your loyal subjects are your thoughts. And every word you speak is a law carried out without delay. Speak carefully, for what you decree tonight shall live in your tomorrow.
Say to yourself, with conviction that burns brighter than doubt, I am the heir to infinite riches. I inherit the treasury of heaven. Wealth is my birthright, prosperity is my portion, abundance is my nature. These are not dreams, they are laws, and the law knows no failure. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Think wealth, feel wealth, and wealth becomes flesh. Think scarcity, and scarcity stalks you. You cannot hide your inner state, for life is but a mirror, reflecting without distortion what lies within. The question is never whether the law works. The question is always what you have sown into it. Tonight you sow wealth, and you will reap wealth. The subconscious is impressionable as wax, but once impressed, it becomes granite. It shapes your destiny with quiet relentlessness. Consider the man who repeats, I am sick, until his very body collapses under the suggestion. Then consider the man who affirms, I am health, I am whole, I am strong, and his body reflects vigor even when once it was weak. The principle is the same. If belief can wither, belief can also heal. If belief can bind, belief can also free. Tonight you will engrave only wealth upon your subconscious, until it is carved as deeply as stone, until it is as immovable as the mountains. And life will mirror back the engraving with perfect accuracy. Do not underestimate the silence of night. The silence is not empty. It is alive, potent, vibrating with infinite intelligence. The noise of the day distracts, but the stillness of the night amplifies. This is why affirmations before sleep are so powerful. The conscious guard relaxes, the watchman at the gate grows drowsy, and the seed slips easily into the soil of the subconscious. If you plant fear in this hour, fear will multiply swiftly. If you plant wealth, wealth will bloom with unstoppable force. Every great mystic, every master of destiny has known this secret. The night is your ally, the silence is your workshop, and the subconscious is your faithful servant. Picture yourself standing before a great river of gold, flowing endlessly from an invisible source. This river does not dry, it does not diminish, it does not fail. It is the divine supply. Most men stand on the banks with empty hands, saying, I wish I had. But you tonight step boldly into the stream, declaring, I am one with the flow. I am in harmony with the river of wealth. I let it carry me, surround me, fill me. And as you sleep, your subconscious accepts this picture as law. And soon your waking hours reflect it. You will find opportunities flowing, doors opening, resources appearing, not by chance but by divine order. Do not concern yourself with the how. The subconscious does not ask how. It simply obeys. The conscious mind frets, questions, reasons, doubts. The subconscious acts. When you say, I am wealthy, it begins aligning unseen forces to make it so. It stirs intuition, guides decisions, attracts conditions, orchestrates events. The path may surprise you, but the end is certain. Therefore, release the need to control the process. Command the end, and trust the subconscious to weave the means. Say it firmly, I think from the end, and the end is abundance. I think from the end, and the end is mine. Understand this. Wealth is not created by struggle. Struggle is resistance, and resistance blocks the flow. Wealth comes by alignment, by surrender, by trust in the divine law. When you let go of fear, when you cease resisting, the current carries you. Stop trying to force life. Stop wrestling with shadows, and let the river move you. As water flows around rocks back to the ocean, so divine supply flows around obstacles back into your life. You need not force it. You only need to align with it. Whisper it now. I flow with divine abundance, and nothing can block me. I flow with divine supply, and wealth is my reality. Every affirmation tonight is a chisel striking stone, shaping your destiny with precision. Do not say it lightly. Do not murmur it as though uncertain. Speak as one who knows his word is law. Say, I am wealth in expression. I am prosperity revealed. I am the channel through which infinite riches flow. Feel the weight of those words as though carved in marble, eternal, unshakable. For they are not mere sounds. They are the substance of creation, the blueprint of tomorrow. The more deeply you impress them, the sooner they appear. And now let the affirmations lull you into rest. Say with quiet authority, I am one with infinite wealth. I am rich in mind, rich in body, rich in spirit. I am free from fear, free from doubt, free from lack. The law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in abundance. I believe in divine order. I believe in infinite supply, and so it is. Sleep now, not as a beggar, but as a king whose crown is faith, whose robe is peace, whose treasure is certain. The night stretches before you like an open canvas, and upon it your mind paints with colors unseen. The conscious brush lays down the first strokes, but when sleep takes you, the subconscious continues the masterpiece. It does not stop when you close your eyes. It does not sleep when you rest. It works tirelessly, sculpting your tomorrow from the clay you have handed it tonight. If you hand it fear, it carves chains. If you hand it resentment, it sculpts prisons. But if you hand it wealth, faith, and joy, it builds palaces of abundance. This is why the wise guard the gateway of sleep. They do not allow trivial complaints or poisonous thoughts to be the last word spoken. They choose gold, they choose truth, they choose life, and you tonight have chosen wealth. The law of belief is the law of life. Say it softly but firmly. The law of belief is the law of life. Not what you wish, not what you beg for, but what you truly believe becomes flesh. Belief is not a whisper in the intellect. It is an impression in the heart. A man may recite affirmations while secretly fearing, and nothing happens. But let him feel the wealth in his bones. Let him sense it as real. Let him rejoice as though already clothed in abundance. And the subconscious cannot resist. It must act. It must express. Belief is the trigger, the spark, the command. Tonight you believe, and belief engraves wealth upon your soul. Think of the subconscious as soil, and belief is the seed. The soil does not question whether the seed is good or bad, noble or foolish. It accepts, it nurtures, it multiplies. If you plant weeds, weeds grow. If you plant roses, roses bloom. Do not curse the soil when the weeds rise. Curse only the careless hand that planted them. And do not fear that roses cannot grow. They will, if only you plant them. Tonight, every affirmation is a seed, and your belief is the hand pressing it into the soil. Soon enough, the blossoms of prosperity will cover the garden of your life. Consider the images that have lived in your mind until now. Perhaps you have imagined lack, replayed fears, rehearsed failures. These images have been painted on the screen of space because your subconscious accepted them. But tonight you take the brush from fear's hand and place it in your own. You will paint wealth, you will sculpt abundance, you will project prosperity. Picture yourself surrounded by plenty. See the home, the freedom, the comfort, the ease. Let the image grow vivid, rich, alive. For the subconscious does not argue with imagination, it obeys. The stronger the image, the quicker the expression. Never say again, I am limited. That is a lie against your divine nature. Say instead, I am limitless. I am infinite. I am connected to the boundless source. Never say again, I cannot afford. That is an insult to the river of supply within you. Say instead, I can afford all things through the riches of God within me. Never say again, I am weak. Say, I am strong in the power of the infinite. The law is this, never finish a negative statement. Reverse it, and wonders will happen. Speak only what you desire, for the subconscious is always listening, always recording, always obeying. Look at the stories written in the lives of others. The woman who healed her body by affirming divine health. The man who rose from poverty by affirming abundance. The artist who unlocked his gifts by affirming divine guidance. They did not beg life, they did not force it. They impressed the subconscious, and the subconscious expressed it. The same law works through you now. You are not excluded, you are not forgotten, you are not separate. The divine law is impartial, universal, exact. What worked for them will work for you, for the subconscious makes no distinction between one man and another. Say to yourself now with quiet certainty, I am open and receptive to the divine riches. Wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. My mind is clear, my heart is strong, my path is ordered. I attract opportunity, I radiate prosperity, I walk in divine supply. These are not idle words, they are laws. Speak them with conviction, and they engrave themselves upon the fabric of your subconscious. And the subconscious, loyal and tireless, will build the conditions to match. The greatest secret of wealth is not struggle, but alignment. You do not wrestle with life to gain riches. You align with the law of abundance, and riches flow. Struggle is resistance, and resistance is fear. But alignment is faith, and faith is power. Trust the law, trust the process, trust the river of supply. You need not force the fruit from the tree. It ripens naturally when the seed is planted, watered, and left to grow. Tonight, plant your seed and rest. The harvest is assured. Now let your affirmations guide you into deeper rest. Say with quiet strength, I am wealthy in mind and body and spirit. I am prosperity in motion, abundance in expression. Divine order governs my life. Divine love fills my heart. Divine supply provides for my every need. Fear vanishes, doubt dissolves, lack disappears. I rest in wealth, I wake in wealth, I live in wealth. For the law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in abundance. And so it is. Every thought is a seed, every word a decree, every image a prophecy. You are not a beggar of faith, you are the author of destiny. Do you not see how life has mirrored your inner state until now? Do you not see how lack outside was only lack inside reflected? Tonight you write a new prophecy. Tonight you tear up the old script of fear and scarcity, and you inscribe in golden letters, I am wealthy, I am prosperous, I am divinely provided for. Let these words burn in you like fire until doubt is reduced to ash. For the law of life cannot resist conviction, and conviction is yours tonight. The night is a sacred chamber, and in this chamber the subconscious kneels before your word, as before a king. It does not rise to challenge you. It does not demand proof. It obeys. The power that heals wounds, that lifts nations, that turns dreams into palaces, is the very power moving in you now. But it waits silent for your command. Do not waste this hour with idle speech. Do not squander it with weary complaints. Take the throne of your own soul and issue decrees that will echo through eternity. Say them with authority, and the unseen will bend to your will. Do not make the mistake of asking when or how or through whom your wealth will come. The conscious mind craves details, but the subconscious works in silence, moving through infinite channels. The man who demands to know how blocks the flow, but the man who trusts opens every gate. Trust is the open hand, doubt is the clenched fist. Say it with quiet surrender. I trust the process of divine abundance. I trust the river of supply. I trust that the riches of heaven flow to me by right of belief. And as you trust, you release, and as you release, the flow begins. The wealth you seek is not apart from you. It is not hidden in vaults, waiting for permission to appear. It is already within, like a fountain sealed under stone. When you affirm abundance, when you believe, the stone is rolled away and the fountain bursts forth. This is why Jesus said, out of your heart flow the issues of life. The heart is the fountain, the subconscious the spring, and wealth is the water. Remove the stone of fear, of doubt, of resentment, and the fountain rises freely. Tonight as you speak affirmations, imagine the stone rolling away and the water of divine supply flowing without limit. Imagine this. You are standing before a door, and the door is locked. You pound upon it. You beg, you demand, but it does not open. Then you remember, the key has always been in your pocket. That key is belief. The moment you place it in the lock, the door swings wide, and behind it lies abundance beyond imagining. Most men spend their lives pounding on locked doors, blind to the key within. But you tonight, use the key. You insert it with your words, you turn it with your faith, you open it with your affirmations. And when the door swings wide, you step boldly into the palace of abundance. Say to yourself with authority, I hold the key of belief, and I open the door to wealth. I am no longer locked out. I am no longer a beggar outside the gates. I am inside, I belong. I am home in abundance. Repeat it until your heart trembles with certainty, until your subconscious accepts it as the only truth. For it is truth, and once accepted, nothing can unmake it. The door will not close, the palace will not vanish, the wealth will not flee. What is impressed is expressed, and you have impressed the key of belief. You are not merely affirming wealth for yourself. Every true affirmation blesses the world. When you prosper, you give, you serve, you lift others. When you expand, others expand. Scarcity is a lie, abundance is truth, and there is enough for all. Let your affirmations be generous, not narrow. Say, I am a channel of abundance for the good of all. I prosper and others prosper through me. I give freely, and wealth flows back to me multiplied. In this way your wealth becomes not only riches but joy, not only success but service, not only gain but glory. Now release every last chain of fear. Say, I dissolve every image of lack, every lie of limitation, every shadow of doubt. I affirm abundance. I believe in supply. I accept divine riches now. Feel the chains fall, feel the shadows scatter, feel the light of wealth fill your being. For the law of the subconscious is not bound by your past. It cares not what has been, it cares only what is impressed now. And now you impress wealth, now you impress faith, now you impress abundance. Tomorrow must obey. And as your eyelids grow heavy, let these words be your final decree tonight. I am one with infinite abundance. I am a river of wealth, flowing endlessly. I am the heir of divine supply, the child of infinite riches. All that I need, all that I desire, all that I imagine flows to me now. I rest in wealth, I rise in wealth, I live in wealth. For the law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in abundance without end. Sleep now and let the unseen world fulfill your command. The silence of night is not emptiness, it is power in waiting. It is the fertile soil of creation, ready to receive whatever seed you dare to plant. Most men waste this hour. They rehearse the insults of the day, they replay their failures, they worry about bills, they fall asleep sowing thorns, and by morning their lives are full of scratches. But you are not most men. Tonight you plant only gold. Tonight you speak only wealth. Tonight you decree only abundance. For the subconscious does not rest, it does not argue, it does not reject. It takes the seed, multiplies it in silence, and presents it as fruit in your life. The law of life is impartial. It favors neither king nor beggar, saint nor sinner. It gives to each according to belief. If you believe in scarcity, scarcity comes. If you believe in abundance, abundance flows. There is no favoritism, no chance, no caprice, only law. And tonight, you align with it. You say, I believe in wealth, and wealth believes in me. I believe in divine supply, and divine supply answers me. I believe in abundance, and abundance flows to me. These are not hopes, they are laws. And when impressed with conviction, they must express as form. Consider this image. Your subconscious is like a great treasury vault. It holds infinite riches, infinite wisdom, infinite supply. But the vault opens only to the password of belief. If you speak, I am poor, the vault remains sealed. If you speak, I am wealthy, the door swings wide, and treasures pour out. Many live and die outside the vault, never knowing that the password was in their mouth all along. But you tonight speak the true password. You say with authority, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am divinely supplied. And the vault yields its treasures, not reluctantly but joyfully, for it was created to serve you. The conscious mind may look at the world and say, but I see lack, I see limitation, I see obstacles. Do not be deceived. The subconscious does not mirror the outer, it creates it. Change within and without must follow. The wise do not argue with appearances. They command them to change by altering the inner cause. This is why Jesus said, judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Appearances are shadows, and shadows vanish when the inner light changes. Tonight as you sleep, you are not reacting to shadows, you are creating substance. Feel now the reality of wealth as though it were already here. Do not think of money as distant, as something you chase. Think of it as air, surrounding you, flowing into you with every breath. Imagine each inhalation drawing abundance, each exhalation releasing fear. Imagine the golden river flowing through your veins, carrying prosperity to every cell. See yourself living freely, generously, joyfully. The subconscious accepts what you feel as true, and when you feel wealth, it becomes law, and law always expresses. Say it now, with authority that shakes every doubt from its place. I am rich in mind, I am rich in body, I am rich in spirit. Wealth surrounds me, wealth fills me, wealth expresses through me. I am provided for, guided, sustained by infinite supply. These words are not wishes, they are decrees. They are not fragile hopes, they are eternal truths. Speak them as though carving them into stone, and your subconscious will not resist. It will bow, it will obey, it will act. Never again will you let fear speak the final word of your day. Never again will you let worry write the script of your night. From this night on, only truth enters the temple of your subconscious. And the truth is abundance. The truth is divine order. The truth is wealth. Every night, every sleep, every dream becomes a rehearsal of prosperity. Your subconscious, working ceaselessly, tirelessly, will turn those rehearsals into reality. And soon enough, the outer world must catch up to the inner command. Say to yourself as you sink deeper, I am aligned with divine law, and divine law is wealth. I am one with the infinite source, and the infinite source flows through me. I dissolve every image of lack. I release every lie of limitation. I erase every trace of doubt. I am free, I am prosperous, I am rich beyond measure. Repeat it until it hums in your blood, until it echoes in your soul, until sleep carries it into the deepest chambers of your being. And now let your final decree of this hour be sealed. I am one with infinite supply. My subconscious works day and night, fulfilling the riches I have commanded. Wealth flows to me now. Opportunities surround me. Abundance covers me. I sleep in peace. I rise in prosperity. I live in plenty. For the law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in wealth without end. Rest now, and let the unseen world build your tomorrow. The deepest mysteries of life unfold when the world grows still. The silence of night is not an end but a beginning, a passage into the creative workshop of the subconscious. Every whisper you give it is a command, every image a blueprint, every feeling a decree, and it listens with perfect obedience. This is the treasure men ignore, the power they overlook. They run through their days chasing shadows, never realizing that the shadows come from within. But you tonight, you hold the lantern. You turn inward where the real power lies. And as you speak, the universe bends, for the subconscious is the hidden architect of all you see. Remember the law, and let it settle in your bones. What is impressed is expressed. Say it, write it, believe it. For it is the single key that unlocks all doors. If you impress fear, fear is expressed. If you impress love, love is expressed. If you impress wealth, then wealth must manifest. There is no debate, no exception, no favoritism. The law is exact, impartial, unwavering. And tonight, you do not leave the gate of your mind unguarded. You do not scatter seeds by accident. You press into the soil only what you desire, and the harvest cannot fail. See now the subconscious as a great mirror, endless and faithful. It reflects exactly what you place before it, no more, no less. If you stand before it with the image of poverty, the mirror shows poverty. If you hold before it the vision of wealth, the mirror flashes back wealth. The mirror cannot lie. It has no power to change the image. It only reflects. Tonight you choose the image deliberately, not by chance. You hold before the mirror the picture of abundance, of supply, of overflowing prosperity, and the mirror must reflect it, first in silence, then in substance, until your life is a living proof of the image you impress. Never again say, I will try. For try is hesitation, and hesitation is weakness. The subconscious does not answer hesitation. It answers certainty. Speak not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. Say, I am wealthy. I am prosperous. I am rich in every way. Do not plead, do not beg, do not wish. Command, affirm, declare. For the subconscious is the faithful servant of conviction. It bends not to doubt, but to faith. It yields not to weakness, but to strength. What you decree tonight, it will build without question. Imagine yourself as the sower in the field. The night sky stretches above. The earth lies open beneath, and in your hand are seeds of gold. With every affirmation you drop a seed. With every repetition you water it. With every feeling you shine sunlight upon it. And though the field looks empty, beneath the soil roots are forming. Life is stirring, growth is beginning. Soon the field will burst with harvest, and men will wonder at your sudden prosperity. But you will know it was not sudden. It was the invisible law working silently, faithfully, until the fruit appeared. Say now with the calm strength of one who knows the truth, I plant only seeds of abundance. I sow only wealth. I affirm only prosperity. My subconscious multiplies these seeds in silence, and the harvest is certain. I am one with the law of increase, and increase manifests in my life without end. Feel the certainty as though you already walk in the harvest, as though the fruit were already in your hands. For in truth it is. The harvest is not future, it is now, unseen but assured, waiting only for the right moment to show itself in form. The world may look at you and call it impossible. They may scoff, they may doubt, they may laugh, but their laughter has no power over the law. For the law answers not their voices, but your belief. And when your belief is firm, when your conviction is strong, when your faith is unshakable, the world must bend. Circumstances must rearrange, opportunities must appear, doors must open. What they call impossible becomes inevitable. For you are not moved by their shadows, you are moved by inner law, and the law never fails. Do not forget that wealth is not greed, it is harmony. Wealth is not selfishness, it is expansion. The more you prosper, the more you give, the more others are lifted. Wealth is circulation, a divine flow, a current that moves endlessly. To hoard is to block, to fear is to choke, but to affirm is to flow. Say within, I am a channel of abundance. I give freely, I receive freely, I circulate wealth, and it returns to me multiplied. In this way, wealth ceases to be mere possession. It becomes life itself, flowing through you, blessing others, blessing the world. Now let your final affirmations of this hour engrave themselves deep. I am one with infinite supply. I am abundance in flesh, prosperity in action, wealth in expression. The law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in riches without end. My subconscious accepts this truth now, and it is already so. I rest in abundance, I rise in prosperity, I live in plenty. For what is impressed is expressed, and I have impressed wealth, and so wealth must express. Sleep now in peace, knowing the law works through you without fail. The night carries you deeper, and in its depth, the unseen world begins its perfect work. Your conscious mind releases its grip, but the subconscious does not loosen, it tightens, it engraves, it builds. It takes the words you have spoken, the images you have painted, the emotions you have felt, and it weaves them into the tapestry of your destiny. Do not think these are idle affirmations, they are laws set in motion by your belief. Every decree has been heard, every seed planted, every command received. And now the great silent builder goes to work, fashioning your life with exactness until the invisible becomes visible, until thought becomes form, until your faith becomes fact. The law is unchanging. The subconscious mind creates according to your belief. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The heart does not argue, it does not delay, it does not resist. It accepts and it manifests. If you have impressed fear, you have lived in fear. If you have impressed lack, you have walked in lack. But tonight you have impressed wealth, you have affirmed abundance, you have commanded prosperity. And the law must obey. It cannot do otherwise. What is impressed is expressed, and what you have impressed tonight will unfold in your life with mathematical precision. Picture your future as a great garden already blooming. You walk among trees heavy with fruit, fields golden with harvest, rivers flowing with supply. This garden is not imagination alone. It is the inevitable result of the seeds you have planted. You have spoken wealth, and wealth grows. You have affirmed abundance, and abundance blossoms. You have commanded prosperity, and prosperity shines. Do not ask if it will come. Know that it has already begun. For the garden grows the moment the seed is pressed into the soil. and your subconscious has already begun the harvest. Say now with quiet authority, I am one with the divine source of supply. I am the heir of infinite abundance. I am prosperity in expression, success in action, wealth in form. I believe in riches without end, and riches without end believe in me. These words are not fragile, they are eternal. They are not mere sounds, they are creative substance. Speak them with conviction, and they are engraved upon your subconscious like inscriptions in stone, and life itself must rise to match them, for the subconscious is tireless, faithful, relentless in its obedience. Understand that your wealth is not a gift of chance, not a trick of fortune, not the favor of circumstance. It is law. The same law that governs the stars, the same law that directs the tides, the same law that beats your heart, the law of belief, the law of impression, the law of expression. And when you align with law, nothing can stop the result. The tides cannot be reversed, the stars cannot be shaken, and your wealth cannot be withheld. You have aligned, you have believed, you have impressed, and now you must receive. Let go of every trace of doubt. Doubt is the thief at the gate, but the gate has been sealed tonight with conviction. Let go of fear. Fear is the shadow in the mind, but the light of your affirmations has scattered it. Let go of resentment. Resentment is the chain on the heart, but divine love has dissolved it. You are free, you are clear, you are open. And into this openness, wealth flows without hindrance. Say it now. I am open and receptive to the divine riches. I am free of fear, free of doubt, free of limitation. I rest in abundance, and I rise in abundance. As you drift into the final depths of sleep, see yourself already walking in the life you desire. See the home, the freedom, the joy. See yourself giving generously, living peacefully, prospering endlessly. Do not see it as a wish, see it as a fact. Do not hold it as a dream, hold it as reality. For your subconscious accepts only what you believe now, not what you postpone to some distant tomorrow. And you believe now, you affirm now, you decree now, and now is the only time the subconscious knows. So let these final words tonight be sealed in the deepest chamber of your being. I am wealth, I am abundance, I am prosperity. The riches of the infinite flow through me, clothe me, surround me, sustain me. I believe in abundance, and abundance believes in me. The law of life is the law of belief, and I believe in riches without end. Therefore it is done. Therefore it is finished. Therefore it is mine. Sleep now in peace, knowing the unseen is heard, the subconscious is obeyed, and the harvest is already in motion. And though your body rests, the current of creation flows without pause. The subconscious mind is not bound by the ticking of clocks or the rising of suns. It is timeless, eternal, ceaseless. Even now, while the outer world is silent, the inner world is alive with movement. The impressions you have planted continue to germinate. The affirmations you have spoken continue to echo. The images you have painted continue to shape themselves into form. Life itself bends around these commands, for the law is absolute. What is impressed is expressed. The universe does not sleep, and neither does the power within you. Think of yourself as a king, whose decrees are carried out, whether he wakes or sleeps. He speaks once, and his servants move at once to fulfill. He does not rise in the middle of the night to check if the orders are obeyed. He rests, for he knows his word is law. So must you rest in faith. You have spoken wealth, and wealth must come. You have affirmed abundance, and abundance must appear. You have commanded prosperity, and prosperity must manifest. Worry is the doubt of a beggar. Faith is the rest of a king, and tonight you rest as a king. Never again underestimate the power of the unseen. Men trust the seed to grow when they bury it in the soil, yet they doubt their own affirmations. Do you not see? The law of growth is universal. The seed of corn brings corn. The seed of wealth brings wealth. The seed of joy brings joy. The subconscious is more faithful than the soil, more fertile than the earth, more abundant than the seasons. It multiplies every seed pressed into it, whether good or evil, noble or destructive. That is why you must guard it as your most sacred garden. And tonight you have sown only gold. Imagine now a fountain hidden beneath the ground. For years it lies sealed, silent as though dry. Men walk past it and say, "There is no water here." But the one who knows where to strike, The one who believes removes the stone, and the fountain bursts forth, unstoppable, endless. Your wealth is this fountain. It is not absent, it is sealed, and belief is the hand that rolls the stone away. You have rolled it tonight, and as you sleep, the fountain begins to rise. First a trickle, then a stream, then a river, until it floods your life with abundance. Say with quiet power, I have removed the stone of fear. I have broken the chain of doubt. I have dissolved the shadow of lack. The fountain flows. The river rises. The abundance of the infinite fills my life. These words are not mere phrases. They are keys that unlock eternal supply. Each repetition drives the truth deeper until the subconscious vows and accepts it. And once accepted, it is law. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can hinder it. Nothing can reverse it. The fountain has begun to flow, and it will not cease. You are not only affirming wealth for yourself, you are affirming it for the generations to come. Your subconscious, once reprogrammed, becomes the soil from which your entire lineage draws nourishment. When you break the chain of lack, you do not break it for yourself alone. You break it for your children and for their children. The subconscious carries the impressions of a lifetime, and through you, new impressions are planted into the future. You are not merely creating wealth, you are rewriting destiny. Say within, I am the new beginning. I am the turning point. I am the one through whom divine abundance flows forever. Do not look backward. The past has no chains strong enough to bind the present moment of belief. What has been impressed in fear can be erased in faith. What has been spoken in doubt can be dissolved in truth. The law does not bind you to yesterday. It frees you to create today. Release the past. Release the failures. Release the regrets. Tonight you begin anew, and your subconscious accepts this new impression with eagerness, for it does not cling to yesterday. It answers only to the now. And now you affirm abundance. Let the words settle deep like gold sinking into a vault. I am abundance now. I am prosperity now. I am wealth now. I do not wait. I do not hope. I do not postpone. I believe now. I receive now. I live in abundance now. Say it with conviction until the subconscious has no choice but to record it as fact. For the subconscious does not delay. It accepts the present tense. And once accepted, the outer world must arrange itself to match. And so as sleep draws you deeper, rest in this certainty. The law is working. The seed is growing. The fountain is flowing. The harvest is assured. You are one with infinite supply. You are the heir of divine riches. You are the living expression of wealth. Fear has dissolved. Doubt has vanished. Lack has fled. You sleep as a king. You rise as a master. You live as abundance incarnate. For the law of life is the law of belief, and you believe. Therefore it is done. What if I told you that every condition of your life right now, every struggle and every triumph, every dollar in your pocket and every friend by your side, is not an accident but the direct result of what you have been thinking? Let this sink in as you listen tonight. For your mind is the workshop of destiny, and your subconscious is the faithful servant carrying out every impression, whether of wealth or of lack, of joy or of sorrow. You may believe you are a victim of circumstance, but the truth is more unsettling and far more empowering. You are the architect of your fate, and the blueprints are the thoughts you allow to dwell within you. That is why the scriptures declare, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What you secretly brood upon, you become. What you impress upon your subconscious, life expresses without fail. Tonight I ask you, what have you been thinking, and are you willing to take responsibility for what it has brought? Consider this. The subconscious does not argue, it does not discriminate, it does not weigh whether your thought is noble or ignoble, whether your belief is true or false. It simply accepts what the conscious mind impresses and acts upon it with mathematical precision. If night after night you murmur in your heart, I am weak, I am poor, I am unloved, your subconscious will carve those words into the fabric of your being and shape a life that mirrors them. But if you dare to affirm, I am guided by divine intelligence, I am a river of life, I am one with abundance and harmony, the same subconscious will receive that seed and make it flesh. The law of life is the law of belief. Whisper it to yourself now. Let it echo in your inner chamber. The law of life is the law of belief. There are people who wonder why their prayers are unanswered, why they toil in lack and sickness, though they recite words of faith. They have not understood that belief is not an intellectual assent, but an emotional conviction. The subconscious is moved not by the tongue, but by the heart. You may speak words of plenty, but if your inner feeling is fear of poverty, that is the seed that will grow. You may affirm health, but if you secretly expect disease, disease will come. Belief is not what you say, it is what you know deep within. That is why I say, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Tonight I want you to feel this truth, not just to think it, but to let it drop into the depths of your being, where it will germinate and bear fruit. Think of your subconscious as a fertile garden. Whatever seed you plant will take root and flourish. If you scatter weeds of worry, fear, and resentment, you cannot blame the soil for the thorns that choke your joy. But if you deliberately sow seeds of harmony, peace, and faith, the garden will reward you with abundance. This is not wishful thinking, it is law. Just as the earth unfailingly brings forth the seed you put into it, your subconscious unfailingly expresses what you impress upon it. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, you are planting. The images you entertain, the affirmations you repeat, the emotions you permit, all of these are seeds falling into that rich soil. Tomorrow's harvest depends on tonight's planting. What will you choose? I recall a young man who came to me in despair. He lived with a poverty complex, certain that fate had cursed him. Night after night he rehearsed his misery, telling himself that wealth belonged only to others. I taught him to change his inner conversation, to fall asleep affirming, I am one with the riches of the infinite. Divine abundance flows through me now. At first he resisted, he thought it foolish. But within weeks opportunities opened, and his life began to transform. Why? Because he had at last impressed his subconscious with a new belief. The subconscious is like an obedient servant. It does not argue, it does not delay. It executes the command you give it. And the command is always your dominant thought. Now let me ask you, what command are you giving right now? When you lie on your bed at night, are you secretly commanding sickness to persist, poverty to remain, fear to multiply? Or are you commanding health, commanding peace, commanding prosperity? Your subconscious mind is listening this very moment, recording every word you say within, every image you linger upon, every fear you repeat. It does not rest, it does not sleep. Even while you sleep, it labors, constructing your tomorrows out of the materials you handed it today. If you do not like the house you are living in, change the blueprint. If you do not like the harvest, change the seed. But do not complain against the law, for the law cannot be mocked. Whatever a man sows, that shall he also reap. There is a reason why the ancients spoke of prayer, not as begging, but as alignment. Prayer is not pleading with an external deity to change your lot. It is impressing the subconscious with the reality of what you desire, until it becomes a conviction so deep that it must express itself. When Jesus said, according to your faith be it unto you, he was pointing to this law. The universe answers not your words, but your belief. And belief is made by repetition, by visualization, by emotion. That is why I say, when you pray, do not beg, affirm, do not whine, declare. See the thing you desire is already accomplished. Feel it as real, and your subconscious will make it so. Even science bears witness. Hypnotic suggestion has healed blindness, produced stigmata, caused allergic reactions, all by the power of belief impressed upon the subconscious. If the mind can produce disease through fear, it can also produce health through faith. If it can create chains through doubt, it can also create wings through confidence. The law is impersonal. Just as fire will warm you or burn you, depending on how you use it, the subconscious will bless you or curse you, depending on what you feed it. Therefore, wisdom is not in cursing the law, but in learning to use it. Tonight you are learning. Tonight you are planting seeds for tomorrow's freedom. I urge you now, as you listen in the quiet of your room, to let this affirmation sink deep. I am one with divine abundance. I am guided, healed, and prospered by the infinite within me. Wealth flows through me like a golden river. Harmony governs my life. Say it silently. Whisper it aloud. Write it on a slip of paper and keep it by your bed. Repeat it until it becomes the dominant feeling in your heart. For what is impressed is expressed. The law cannot fail you. You can fail to use it. but you cannot fail when you do use it. This is the secret of life, to impress only what you want expressed, and to guard the garden of your subconscious against the weeds of fear. Now, my friend, as you drift into sleep tonight, remember that you are not helpless. You are not a pawn of chance. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate, the sower of your harvest. Choose this night to sow light, to sow love, to sow abundance. Your subconscious is listening. Give it noble instructions, and it will obey. I leave you with this command to plant in your heart: I am one with wealth and wisdom, free of fear and doubt, guided by divine intelligence. Repeat it until it becomes flesh. Let it be your night song, your morning seed, your lifelong law. Every thought you think is a cause, and every condition in your life is its effect. This is the immutable law of the subconscious, and it is operating whether you recognize it or not. When you begin to grasp this truth, you awaken to an astonishing responsibility, but also to an unspeakable power. No longer can you say, "This just happened to me." No longer can you blame fate, family, or fortune. Life is not happening to you. It is happening through you. Look around at your circumstances. They are mirrors reflecting the hidden patterns of your inner world. If you do not like what you see, you must cease polishing the mirror and instead change the face it reflects. Transformation begins not in the world, but in the silent chamber of your thought. Think of the subconscious mind as a loyal but unreasoning servant. It takes your conscious thoughts as commands and executes them without protest. If you fill your consciousness with fear, resentment, and doubt, it does not stop to warn you. It simply manifests those emotions in your body, your relationships, your fortunes. If you fill your consciousness with faith, harmony, and expectancy, it manifests those too. This is why I say the law of belief is inexorable. It works for the thief as it works for the saint. It is impartial, impersonal, automatic. The subconscious mind does not choose for you. You must choose for it. And the choosing is done by the thoughts you allow to dominate. There is a story of Caruso, the great singer, who once was paralyzed with stage fright before a performance. His throat tightened, his body trembled, his conscious mind whispered, "You cannot do it, you will fail." But he spoke aloud to his subconscious, "Caruso, get out here. Caruso, sing through me." He replaced the thought of fear with the thought of power, and instantly the paralysis dissolved. That night, he sang as though carried on angelic wings. What happened? He changed the command. He gave his subconscious a new order, and it obeyed. You can do the same. Speak to yourself with authority. Declare the truth you wish to experience. The subconscious cannot resist. It must act. You may ask, how can I truly believe when my senses contradict me? How can I affirm wealth when I see bills piling up? How can I affirm health when my body aches? But this is the very crux of the law. You are not asked to believe what your eyes show. You are asked to believe what your heart knows. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Your senses reflect past impressions. Your faith plants future realities. If you live by sight, you will repeat the past. If you live by belief, you will create the future. So I say, cease worshipping appearances. Begin to honor the unseen truth that is greater than appearances. Plant in your subconscious not the weeds of fear, but the seeds of divine certainty. The subconscious, remember, does not distinguish between truth and falsehood, real and imagined, past and present. It accepts as real whatever is vividly impressed upon it. That is why athletes visualize victory, why surgeons imagine flawless operations, why inventors see their machines completed before they exist. The subconscious, once convinced, marshals every resource to bring about the image it holds. If this works for surgery and sport, how much more for your health, your prosperity, your destiny? You must therefore create within your mind the picture of the life you desire and persist in it until it becomes your inner reality. Then, like a seed hidden beneath the soil, it will break forth in due season. A woman once came to me afflicted with bitterness and resentment. Her body bore lesions, her spirit was weary, her life seemed filled with shadows. I told her, release the resentment, affirm divine love, see yourself surrounded by light. Say with conviction, divine love dissolves everything unlike itself. She practiced faithfully, and in time her lesions disappeared, her countenance brightened, her life unfolded with new harmony. what cured her. Not medicine alone, not chance, but the law of belief. She impressed love upon her subconscious, and the subconscious expressed it as health. What is impressed is expressed. Do not forget it. Say it with me now, quietly but firmly. What is impressed is expressed. You must also understand that every I am you utter is a command to your subconscious. When you say I am sick, you are instructing it to manifest sickness. When you say I am poor, you are programming poverty. But when you say I am whole, I am prosperous, I am guided, you are sending forth seeds that must bloom in harmony. So guard your I am with reverence. Attach to it only that which you wish to become. Whisper now, if you will, I am one with the riches of the infinite. I am a free-flowing channel for harmony, wealth, and joy. Let it sink in, for this is not empty poetry, it is law. The subconscious hears, the subconscious obeys. And let us not forget the greatest resistance you face is not the world, but your own habits of thought. You may attempt to change, but the old grooves pull you back. That is why persistence is essential. One affirmation uttered once is like one drop of water on a rock. It makes no mark. But repeated with faith, repeated with emotion, repeated with expectancy, it carves through the hardest stone. Night after night, day after day, sow the seed of truth until it takes root. The subconscious resists nothing. It simply reflects what you feed it most. Feed it faith and faith will grow. Feed it love and love will grow. Feed it abundance and abundance will grow. So I ask you tonight, as you listen in the quiet, what will you feed your mind? Will you let it gorge on fear, resentment, gossip, and despair? Or will you nourish it with affirmations of truth, visions of harmony, and faith in divine order? The choice is yours. The subconscious is listening now. It does not wait until tomorrow. It records every syllable, every image, every feeling in this very moment. Decide now. Choose life. Choose abundance. Choose joy. And let your decision be sealed with affirmation, spoken not mechanically, but with the fire of conviction. Say within yourself, I am one with divine intelligence. I am healed, prosperous, and strong. I am guided by infinite love. As these words are impressed, so shall they be expressed. The greatest discovery of your life may be this: you are never imprisoned by the outer world. Only by the inner pattern you permit to dominate. You walk in chains not because iron holds you, but because invisible ideas have fastened themselves to your subconscious. These chains are not broken by pleading with others, nor by waiting for circumstances to change. They are broken by introducing a new idea, a higher belief, a divine command into the depths of your being. The law is absolute. What you impress, you express. If you would rise, impress upon your subconscious the conviction of freedom, strength, and guidance. Say to yourself with unwavering faith, I am free, I am strong, I am divinely guided. Hold it long enough and the invisible bonds dissolve. The prison doors swing open and life reflects your new liberty. There was once a young woman who longed for companionship, yet lived in loneliness. She saw herself as undesirable, repeated silently that she was unloved, and the subconscious obediently fulfilled her conviction. I taught her to affirm differently, to say, divine love enfolds me. I attract friendship, harmony, and joy. She did this nightly as she drifted into sleep. Within months her life was filled with new friendships, and soon after she met the man who became her husband. Did she beg for love? No, she aligned with it. She impressed her subconscious with the image of love received, and the subconscious expressed it in her world. You see, the outer always follows the inner. Life is not cruel, it is consistent. The law is not against you, it is for you, if you but understand how to use it. Now you may object and say, but I have affirmed before and nothing happened. Listen carefully. It is not the words that matter, but the emotional acceptance behind them. If you say, I am prosperous, while feeling secretly that you are lying, the subconscious receives the feeling, not the phrase. If you declare, I am healthy, while trembling in fear of disease, the fear is the real impression, and fear is what is expressed. This is why I urge you not only to repeat affirmations, but to feel them, to imagine them as true, to let them saturate you until your whole being vibrates with their reality. When the feeling unites with the word, the subconscious yields. Then, and only then, the mountains move. A businessman once told me he was plagued by failure. Every venture collapsed. I asked him what he repeated to himself when facing challenges. He admitted, I always think, I'm not cut out for this. Others succeed, but I fail. And indeed, his subconscious was simply fulfilling the prophecy. I taught him to replace it with a new affirmation. Divine order governs my life and affairs. Success is mine now. Infinite intelligence prospers all that I do. At first he stumbled, doubting his own words. But persistence wore away the old pattern. Within the year he reported a thriving business and a renewed spirit. The law had not changed, only his impression upon it. What you impress is expressed. Never forget this. Repeat it until it becomes etched into your consciousness. And consider this. Your subconscious is never idle. It works while you are awake, and it works while you are asleep. This is why the moments before sleep are so critical. Whatever images, words, or emotions you carry into slumber are impressed deeply upon the subconscious to germinate during the night hours. If you fall asleep rehearsing grievances, you awaken with heavier burdens. If you fall asleep affirming peace and prosperity, you awaken refreshed, aligned, and subtly guided toward solutions. Tonight, before you close your eyes, give your subconscious noble orders. Do not drift into sleep with the noise of fear. Instead, speak with authority. I am guided by divine wisdom. I am a channel of health, wealth, and peace. Your subconscious will take these words and weave them into tomorrow's experiences. Understand also that the subconscious accepts repetition as reality. One fearful thought will not ruin you, nor one affirmation exalt you. But repeated night after night, day after day, the thought becomes conviction, and conviction becomes manifestation. Think of water dripping on stone. One drop leaves no mark, but 1,000 drops, steady and relentless, carve the rock itself. So too with the mind. What you repeat with feeling becomes carved into your subconscious, and the subconscious then produces the corresponding life. This is why discipline is necessary. Not harsh discipline of the body, but gentle persistence of the mind. Guard your inner speech as a king guards his treasury. Do not squander it on fear, but invest it in faith. Let us go further. The subconscious is not only the builder of your health, wealth, and fortune, it is also the bridge to infinite intelligence. Through it you are connected to the life principle, to the divine source from which all wisdom flows. When you impress upon the subconscious a noble idea, it not only organizes your faculties to achieve it, but also opens doors, attracts resources, and guides events in ways you cannot consciously calculate. It is as though an unseen hand begins to arrange the pieces of life in your favor. Call it providence, call it the infinite, call it God, it matters not. What matters is that you recognize the law at work and cooperate with it. But beware, for the law does not stop simply because you ignore it. If you neglect the planting, weeds will grow. If you fail to impress consciously, unconscious fears will impress themselves. The subconscious is always taking orders from you or from your fears, from your faith or from your doubts. This is why vigilance is the price of freedom. Do not allow your subconscious to be a dumping ground for the world's fears. Be selective. Be intentional. Feed it truth, beauty, harmony, abundance, love. Guard the gateway of your mind, and your subconscious will be your faithful ally, not your cruel master. As you listen tonight, let us seal this teaching with a living word. Whisper with me, not as empty sound, but as a command to your inner self. I am a river of life, flowing with abundance. I am guided, healed, and prospered by the infinite within. I am one with divine order, and all that I do prospers. Say it slowly. Feel it deeply. Write it if you can. Let it sink into the soil of your subconscious, for tomorrow it shall sprout, and soon you shall walk in the harvest of your own belief. Remember always, as you sow, so shall you reap. Sow wisely tonight, for your life depends upon it. There is a silent power working in you this very moment. A power greater than your education, greater than your past, greater even than the opinions of those around you. It is the subconscious mind carrying out with perfect faithfulness the impressions stamped upon it. This power does not argue, it does not resist, it does not reason. It simply accepts and manifests. If you tell it you are defeated, it fashions circumstances of defeat. If you tell it you are victorious, it weaves triumph into the pattern of your days. If you plant seeds of fear, you reap fear. If you plant seeds of courage, you reap courage. The law is exact. The law is impartial. The law is life. And tonight, as you hear these words, you are shaping your destiny with every thought you allow to linger in your heart. Many people live as slaves to the suggestions of others. They hear the world whispering, "You are not enough, you are too late, you cannot succeed," and they let these voices enter unguarded into the subconscious. Then they wonder why they feel powerless, why their lives reflect limitation. But no suggestion can harm you unless you accept it. The conscious mind is the gatekeeper. If you reject the lie and affirm the truth, your subconscious will remain untouched. If you are told you will fail, and you answer within yourself, "I am guided by infinite intelligence, success is mine now," then the negative suggestion has no root. Remember, you are the captain. Your subconscious is the crew. The ship will not sail toward failure unless you command it. I knew a young student who trembled with stage fright before every performance. She would whisper, "I cannot do it. I will forget my lines." Her subconscious, obedient as always, fulfilled her command with trembling and forgetfulness. I taught her a different approach. Before each recital, she was to say with calm authority, "I am poised and confident. The words flow through me easily. Divine intelligence expresses itself through my voice." She repeated this until it became her conviction. Soon the paralysis left her, and she performed with brilliance. What changed? Not the stage, not the audience, not her ability. Only the command she gave her subconscious. Never forget this. What you impress, you express. Perhaps you ask, if this power is so great, why do I suffer? Why do I struggle? The answer is simple. You have impressed it with struggle. You have allowed fear, resentment, and self-doubt to plant seeds in the soil. But tonight you can change the planting. Do not water the weeds any longer. Begin to sow deliberately. When the thought of failure comes, replace it with the thought of success. When the memory of sickness arises, replace it with the affirmation of health. When resentment whispers, replace it with love. You cannot prevent birds from flying over your head, but you can prevent them from building a nest in your hair. Likewise, you cannot stop stray thoughts from appearing, but you can refuse them lodging in the subconscious. One man I knew was diagnosed with sarcoma. The doctors gave him little hope, but he turned within, speaking to his subconscious night and day. Every cell of my body is filled with the healing presence of God. The light of health permeates me. I am whole. He repeated this with emotion, with expectancy, with faith. In time, the sarcoma disappeared, confounding the physicians. Was this magic? No, it was law. The subconscious obeyed the command of belief. This same law is yours to use. The healing presence of God dwells within you, awaiting your recognition. Say to yourself now, with quiet authority, "I am whole, I am well, I am strong," and let that impression sink deep. The subconscious mind also governs the body. Every cell, every nerve, every organ listens to the language of your thought. Fear produces tension. Resentment poisons the blood. Chronic worry breaks down the immune system. But affirmations of peace, love, and harmony release healing power. Restore balance and invigorate the body. Madame Beer of France was blind though her optic nerves were dead. Through faith and subconscious impression, her sight was restored. Dr. Isdayal in India performed surgery using hypnosis as anesthesia. Patients feeling no pain because the subconscious had accepted the suggestion of numbness. These are not miracles in the sense of breaking law. They are demonstrations of the law itself. The subconscious does not tire. It does not forget. It works day and night, and it shapes your health according to the images and emotions you permit. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, let us seal this lesson with a declaration. Say it with me quietly but with conviction. I am the captain of my soul. I am the master of my fate. I choose health. I choose wealth. I choose peace. The law of life is the law of belief. And I believe in harmony, abundance, and divine order now. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Whisper it in the silence of your heart. For tonight you are impressing, and tomorrow you will be expressing. Therefore, I urge you to treat your subconscious as a sacred trust. Do not abuse it with words of fear or anger. Do not pollute it with images of defeat. Guard it as you would guard your most precious treasure. Feed it beauty, harmony, truth, abundance. And as surely as day follows night, your life will reflect these qualities. What you impress is expressed. This is the golden key. Hold it close, use it wisely, and the doors of life will open before you. Understand this too, your subconscious works according to imagery. Words alone, without feeling or picture, often fail. But when you imagine vividly, when you see yourself walking in health, living in abundance, speaking with confidence, the subconscious accepts it as real. Carve the picture clearly. Let it be more real in your imagination than the condition of lack or sickness. For the subconscious cannot distinguish between reality and vividly imagined belief. It will express whatever it accepts as true. This is why visualization, united with affirmation, is so powerful. You are painting the canvas of your future in the studio of your mind. Every mountain that seems to loom before you, every obstacle that feels immovable, has its roots not in the external world, but in the soil of your own belief. The mountain is an inner image, a conviction held in the subconscious, and it is there that it must be dissolved. Whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and shall not doubt in his heart, it shall be done unto him. Do you see the principle? The mountain is not an enemy, it is a reflection. It is your own belief, clothed in stone. Remove the conviction of limitation within, and the outer mountain must crumble. But if you insist that the obstacle is permanent, the subconscious will obey, and permanence will be your lot. As within, so without. This is the law that governs kings and beggars alike. One woman once told me her greatest torment was loneliness. She prayed and pleaded with God, yet she remained isolated. I asked her, What do you really believe when you are alone in your room? She confessed, I always feel unwanted, unloved, unseen. And so her subconscious faithfully brought her what she secretly affirmed. I instructed her to practice a new inner speech. Divine love flows through me. I am surrounded by joy, harmony, and affection. I am cherished, I am wanted, I am loved. She wrote it down, she whispered it before sleep. She let it fill her imagination. In a short time, her life transformed. She found herself invited, surrounded, embraced. Did God suddenly decide to favor her? No. The law expressed what was newly impressed. She stopped sowing loneliness and began sowing love. Let me remind you, you are not dealing with caprice or chance. You are dealing with law. The subconscious is the silent engine of life, and its only compass is the belief you feed it. If you impress defeat, it will express defeat. If you impress victory, it will express victory. Many people live as though they were helpless before fate, yet they carry within them the greatest power of creation. It is not your environment that binds you, but your own impression of yourself. What you attach to I am becomes flesh. Say I am tired, I am poor, I am lost, and life will mirror your decree. Say I am guided, I am prosperous, I am free, and life will mirror that decree. Your subconscious knows no sarcasm, no jest. It only executes. Guard therefore every I am you utter. A man once said to me, Doctor, I cannot escape death. It follows me like a shadow. I asked him what he affirmed at night. He answered, I always fear tomorrow. I imagine more bills. I dread the knock at the door. And indeed, his subconscious shaped his tomorrows according to those fears. I taught him to change the record. Night after night he was to fall asleep, whispering, Infinite abundance is mine. Wealth flows to me in avalanches of good. I am supplied and sustained by divine source. He obeyed. Within months, unexpected opportunities arose. His debts were cleared, and prosperity unfolded. The world called it luck. I call it law. What is impressed is expressed. Say it aloud. Let it burn in your heart. What is impressed is expressed. You must also realize that fear is faith inverted. Fear is belief in evil. Faith is belief in good. Both impress the subconscious, and both are expressed. If you dwell on fear, the law faithfully produces its fruits. If you dwell on faith, the law produces abundance and harmony. So I ask you, why give your power to fear? Why water weeds when you could cultivate roses? Begin tonight to reverse it. Each time fear whispers, answer with faith. Each time lack threatens, affirm abundance. Each time weakness appears, declare strength. Never finish a negative sentence. Reverse it immediately, and wonders will follow. Say, I cannot, and then quickly correct yourself. I can, through the power of the infinite within me. Your subconscious responds not only to words, but to feeling. Cold repetition will not move it. You must speak with conviction, with imagery, with expectancy. When you affirm wealth, feel the joy of already possessing it. When you affirm health, imagine yourself walking strong and whole. When you affirm love, feel the warmth of companionship. The subconscious accepts feeling as fact, and once it accepts, it sets every law of life in motion to produce it. This is why imagination is more powerful than willpower. Willpower often strains, but imagination persuades. When you see it inwardly, when you feel it deeply, the subconscious is convinced, and the outer world reshapes itself accordingly. Think of the subconscious as soil, and your thoughts as seeds. The soil does not care what you plant. It will bring forth weeds as easily as wheat, thorns as easily as roses. Your responsibility is to choose the seed. If you plant fear, do not complain when fear grows. If you plant resentment, do not curse the harvest of bitterness. But if you plant harmony, love, and abundance, you will reap a garden of delight. The law of sowing and reaping is eternal. It cannot be mocked. And every night before you sleep, you are sowing. Every word you whisper, every image you hold, every emotion you permit, is a seed falling into that soil. Guard your planting, for tomorrow depends on it. The ancients knew this truth and spoke of it in parables. Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field." Heaven is not a place afar. It is the state of harmony produced when you sow good seed in the subconscious. The harvest is inevitable, and the harvest is yours to choose. So choose wisely. Choose now. Do not wait for better circumstances. Create better circumstances by planting better thoughts. Life mirrors your inner state, and nothing can resist the law of correspondence as within, so without. If you would change the outer, begin with the inner. It is the only true path to transformation. Let us seal tonight's truth with affirmation. Say with me, I am a free-flowing channel of wealth, health, and harmony. Infinite intelligence guides me, divine love surrounds me, and success is mine now. Write it, whisper it, engrave it upon the tablet of your mind. For as surely as the dawn follows night, what you impress will be expressed. And when you awaken tomorrow, you will walk in the beginning of a new harvest, born from the seed you plant tonight. Every condition you see around you today is the shadow of yesterday's thought. The world you inhabit is nothing but the screen upon which your subconscious projects the film impressed upon it. If you do not like the picture, you must change the reel. Yet most people stand before the screen, cursing the image, begging it to change, unaware that the projector is within them, running ceaselessly, tirelessly, obediently. This is why so many remain trapped. They fight shadows instead of altering substance. But you, listening tonight, are being handed the master key. The law is simple: change the inner belief, and the outer condition must follow. Life cannot do otherwise. The subconscious, once convinced, must express, and the world must mirror what you have decreed. Consider the story of a minister in South Africa, diagnosed with lung cancer. Physicians gave no hope, yet he chose a different approach. Night after night, he visualized his lungs as perfect, radiant, filled with light. He declared inwardly, "The healing presence of God flows through me. Every cell responds to divine order. I am whole." His subconscious, impressed with this new command, began the work of restoration. In time, the disease vanished, leaving the doctors astonished. But it was not astonishment, it was law. What the subconscious accepts as real, it must express. This principle is as exact as gravity, as unfailing as sunrise. You may call it miracle, but I call it the natural consequence of divine law operating in man. Your subconscious is like a treasure house, holding infinite riches of wisdom, health, and supply. Yet most men wander in poverty, unaware of the gold within. They seek outwardly what can only be found inwardly. They knock on empty doors while the vault within remains unopened. The key is belief. The key is impression. The moment you impress the subconscious with the truth of abundance, it swings open the storehouse and pours forth wealth. The moment you impress it with the reality of health, it directs the body into harmony. The moment you impress it with divine guidance, it arranges circumstances, opens doors, and leads you on paths of safety and prosperity. The treasure house waits only for your command. And remember, the subconscious never argues with you. If you say, "I can't afford it," it agrees and ensures you cannot. If you say, "I'll fail," it nods and brings failure. But if you declare infinite supply sustains me, I am guided by divine intelligence, success flows to me now. It obeys that too, and begins to shape events to match. You are the lawgiver and your subconscious is the executor. Whatever you write upon it, it will carry out with relentless faithfulness. This is why idle words are dangerous, why careless self-talk becomes destiny. You are programming the greatest mechanism in existence. Guard your programming. Speak only what you wish to see. Impress only what you want expressed. One young student of mine desired a travel bag for her journey abroad, but had no money to purchase it. Each night she imagined holding the bag, feeling its texture, and walking with it in her hand. She affirmed quietly, "Thank you, Father, for my beautiful bag. It is mine now." Within a week, a friend gifted her exactly the kind of bag she had imagined. What had she done? She impressed her subconscious with the image of possession, accepted it as real, and the subconscious drew the necessary channel to express it. Some would say coincidence. I say correspondence. As within, so without. The law cannot fail. You may think, but my situation is too great, my problem too deep. Yet nothing is too great for the subconscious, for it is one with infinite intelligence. It holds the wisdom that created galaxies, the power that animates life, the order that sustains the universe. Why should it falter at your request for help, for supply, for peace? Your subconscious does not measure difficulty. It only obeys impression. Whether you ask for a button or a fortune, it is the same law. Believe, and you shall receive. Doubt, and you shall do without. Choose tonight to believe and watch how the impossible bends before the law of belief. Understand also that the subconscious is impartial. It does not care whether you impress faith or fear, harmony or discord. It expresses whatever you allow. If you dwell on resentment, your subconscious will faithfully poison your life with its fruit. If you dwell on forgiveness, it will bring harmony and peace. The soil does not reject weeds. It grows them as readily as wheat. So too your subconscious. That is why vigilance is necessary, why discipline of thought is the highest art. Guard the gateway. Be ruthless in rejecting fear, and generous in sowing faith. The harvest depends not on the soil, but on the seed. There is a reason why before sleep and upon waking are the most powerful times to impress the subconscious. At these moments, the conscious mind relaxes, and the gate to the inner chamber opens wide. Whatever thought you give it then, it sinks deep and germinates. So tonight, when you close your eyes, give your subconscious noble orders. Do not let fear be your last word. Let faith be. Say, I am whole. I am wealthy. I am divinely guided. See it. Feel it, believe it, and tomorrow the seed will already be at work, unseen yet unstoppable, preparing the harvest that must come. Now let us affirm together, not as idle chant, but as living decree, I am the heir of infinite riches. Health, peace, and abundance are mine now. The light of God surrounds me, the love of God enfolds me, the power of God flows through me. Say it, write it, believe it, let it burn into the depths of your being, for the law is sure. What is impressed is expressed, and as you impress these truths tonight, know that life has no choice but to express them in your tomorrow. Every man and woman carries within them the silent architect of destiny, a builder that never sleeps, never tires, never forgets. This builder is your subconscious mind, and it is shaping your life with perfect fidelity to the blueprint you hand it. If your plans are filled with fear, it constructs a life of bondage. If your plans are rich with faith, it constructs a life of freedom. The house you dwell in, the circumstances you meet, the relationships you form, all of these are bricks laid by the hand of your subconscious, in obedience to your dominant belief. You cannot escape this law, but you can master it. You cannot plead for exemption, but you can learn to command. And the command is simple. Impress only what you wish expressed. Many think of themselves as victims of heredity, of society, of accident. Yet heredity cannot bind the soul that knows its oneness with the infinite. Society cannot imprison the man who refuses to accept its change. Accident cannot dominate the woman who knows that divine order governs her life. What are these so-called forces but suggestions impressed upon the subconscious? Refuse them, and they are powerless. Accept them, and they become law to you. When the world says you are limited, you can reply within, I am unlimited through the power of God in me. When others whisper you will fail, you can affirm, success is mine now. Infinite intelligence prospers me, and the subconscious will obey your inner voice, not the outer clamor. There was a case of a relative healed of tuberculosis by believing in a fragment of wood said to be from the true cross. The fragment itself had no power, yet the belief had all power. The subconscious accepted the impression of healing, and the body responded with health. Was it superstition? To the intellect, perhaps. But to the subconscious, the symbol was enough to transmit conviction. You see, it is not the object, but the belief behind the object that matters. You could hold a stone, a flower, a word, and if you attach to it the belief of health, your subconscious will act upon that belief. The power is never in the symbol, it is in the impression. This is why your own affirmations, symbols, and rituals, when filled with faith, carry immeasurable force. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between reality and imagination, between the vividly pictured and the physically present. This is your advantage if you will use it. Imagine your desired life with such clarity that it becomes real to you inwardly. See yourself walking in health, dwelling in abundance, moving with confidence. Let the image be vivid, detailed, alive. The subconscious will accept it as real, and then by law it must be expressed. Athletes know this, using visualization to perfect their performance. Inventors know this, seeing their creation complete before it exists. Why should you not use this law to heal your body, prosper your affairs, and elevate your life? It is no respecter of persons. It will serve you as it serves the great, if you will but use it. Let us consider the story of Caruso once more. Standing paralyzed before an audience, choked by fear, his conscious mind trembled, but he commanded his subconscious with bold words, Caruso, get out here and sing. At once the fear dissolved, and the voice of genius flowed. You too can command your subconscious. Speak to it as a sovereign to a servant. Tell it what you want, not what you fear. Declare, I am strong, I am calm, I am prosperous, I am whole. Repeat it until your subconscious accepts. For once accepted, it cannot fail to express. Do not beg, do not plead. Command with authority, and the servant will obey. Remember also that suggestion is contagious. The subconscious accepts not only your words, but also the atmosphere around you. If you surround yourself with fear, gossip, and despair, you will absorb their poison. If you surround yourself with faith, joy, and love, you will absorb their blessing. Therefore, choose your company wisely, your books wisely, your conversations wisely. What enters your mind becomes seed for your subconscious, and seed becomes harvest. If you wish a noble harvest, plant only noble seed. Guard your eyes, your ears, your speech, as you would guard the gates of a fortress. The enemy is suggestion, and the victory is vigilance. One man was healed of blindness, though his optic nerves were destroyed. How? By suggestion, accepted by the subconscious. Another man developed stigmata simply because of suggestion. These extremes reveal the same principle. The subconscious, once impressed, expresses. It does not inquire whether it is possible. It simply acts. And so you must be deliberate. Suggest to yourself only what you wish to see. Never finish a negative suggestion. If you begin to say, I feel sick, immediately replace it with, I am whole, strong, and vital. If you begin to think, I will fail, replace it with, divine success is mine now. Reverse every negative, and soon the subconscious will hold only the positive. This is the science of prayer, the art of mental healing, the key to transformation. You must not think that great results come only after years. The subconscious works instantly once impressed. The time of manifestation depends only on the depth of your conviction. Some results appear in hours, some in weeks, some in months. But always the law is at work. Seeds germinate in their own season, but no seed planted with faith can fail to sprout. Therefore, do not measure time, measure conviction. Persist until the subconscious is convinced, and then rest in assurance. Life will take care of the expression. You have done your part by sowing. The harvest is certain. Let us now impress this truth with affirmation. Say it with me. I am one with infinite intelligence. I am whole, strong, and free. Success flows to me. Abundance surrounds me. Peace fills me. I command my subconscious with faith, and it obeys with certainty. Write it, whisper it, engrave it. Let it sink deep, for what is impressed tonight will be expressed tomorrow. And remember, you are never at the mercy of fate. You are always at the mercy of your own belief. Choose wisely, for the law cannot be mocked. Every problem you face is not a curse upon your life, but a signal of the thought that has been planted within you. The outer condition is a mirror, reflecting back to you the pattern of belief impressed upon the subconscious. When you look into a mirror and see a stain upon your face, you do not scold the glass, you wash the face. So too with life. Do not waste your energy condemning circumstances. Cleanse the inner pattern, and the reflection must change. This is the forgotten wisdom. Life is never against you, it is always for you, always revealing what you have secretly believed. If you do not like the revelation, change the belief, and the revelation will change. A young engineer once came to me burdened with obstacles in his work. Every project seemed blocked, every effort resisted. He said, "It feels as though invisible forces are against me." I told him plainly, "There are no forces against you but the forces of your own fear. You are putting your foot upon the hose of life and stopping the flow." I gave him an affirmation. Divine order governs my work. Infinite intelligence opens every door. I am guided in all that I do. He repeated it daily, visualized his tasks completed smoothly, and soon the obstacles dissolved. His projects advanced, doors opened, and what once seemed cursed was transformed into success. The law had not changed, only his inner state had changed, and life mirrored the new command. Understand this clearly. Every difficulty is divinely outmatched. The power within you is greater than any condition without you. Your subconscious is the channel of infinite intelligence, and when you impress it with conviction, it draws upon resources beyond your conscious calculation. You may think, "There is no way," but the subconscious, united with the infinite, finds a way where none appears. You may see only walls, but the subconscious can move men, shift events, open doors, create bridges. The world calls it coincidence. The wise call it divine law. Your task is not to figure out how, but to believe in the end. The how is always handled by the infinite through the subconscious. One woman once bore a lesion upon her body caused by deep resentment. Physicians treated the symptom, but the cause remained. She confessed, "I cannot forgive. I will not let go." I told her, "Resentment is poison to the soul and body. Divine love dissolves everything unlike itself. Begin now to affirm, I release all bitterness. I am free. I am healed. I am filled with divine love." Reluctantly, she began. Night after night, she repeated it, forcing her mind to imagine herself at peace. Slowly, the resentment melted, and with it, the lesion disappeared. Forgiveness was not merely moral, it was medicine. Love was not sentiment, it was healing law. The subconscious, impressed with the truth of harmony, expressed it in flesh. Do not make the mistake of trying to change others. There is no one to change but yourself. The world is your mirror. If you rail against the image, the reflection grows harsher. But if you change the source, the reflection softens. Do not say, "When others love me, I will feel whole." Say, "I am whole now, and love flows to me by divine law." Do not say, "When life favors me, I will be at peace." Say, "I am at peace now, and life mirrors it back to me." This is the great secret. Outer harmony begins with inner harmony. Do not wait for the world to shift. Shift yourself, and the world must follow. Remember, too, that judgment binds you. If you condemn others, you chain yourself to condemnation. If you release judgment, you walk free. The subconscious records every judgment you pass, and it expresses it in your own life. Judge not, that you may not be judged. For where you hold no judgment, you experience no suffering. The law is mercilessly just. As you sow, so shall you reap. Sow kindness, reap kindness. Sow envy, reap envy. Sow love, reap love. Life is the mirror of king and beggar alike. You cannot escape the harvest of your own planting, but you can choose tonight what new seed to sow. Your happiness does not depend on external conditions. Happiness is a state of being arising from the alignment of your conscious and subconscious with divine law. Many chase after possessions, relationships, recognition, believing these will bring joy. Yet joy comes not from having, but from being. When you declare, I am happy, I am at peace, I am guided, and impress this upon the subconscious, happiness wells up from within, and circumstances adjust to match. Do not pursue joy outside yourself. Release it from within, and life will bring you the outer forms that harmonize with it. Infinite intelligence responds not to begging, but to belief. Consider your words tonight. Every statement is a decree. Every I am is a seed. If you say, I am cursed, the subconscious will make it so. If you say, I am blessed, the subconscious will also make it so. Choose carefully. Choose deliberately. Do not repeat idle phrases of limitation. Speak only what you wish to see. Impress only what you wish expressed. Your life is built word by word, thought by thought, conviction by conviction. Guard each one as sacred. For in truth each is sacred, carrying within it the power of life or death, sickness or health, lack or abundance. Now seal these truths within you. Say quietly with faith, I release resentment. I dissolve fear. I embrace divine love. I am one with peace, one with abundance, one with joy. Infinite intelligence guides me. Divine order governs me. Success flows to me now. Write it, whisper it, feel it. For tonight you are impressing the law, and tomorrow you will see its expression. Life has no choice but to mirror the conviction you hold. Therefore hold only that which you desire, and let the rest fall away like shadows before the rising sun. There is a river flowing through you now, an endless current of life, wisdom, and abundance. It is not outside of you, waiting to be discovered in some distant place. It is within you, streaming from the depths of your subconscious, which itself is united with infinite intelligence. Yet most men dam the river with fear, with doubt, with resentment. They place stones of limitation across its flow and then complain of dryness. But the river is never gone. It waits only for you to remove the stones. When you do, it rushes forth with power, watering every field of your life. You were never designed for lack. You were designed to be a channel for the riches of the infinite. And the moment you align your belief with that truth, the river flows unhindered, carrying with it health, harmony, and supply. One young man once came to me, consumed by poverty, thinking. He lived in dread of bills, fearful of every expenditure, convinced that wealth belonged only to others. I told him, poverty is not a condition, it is a conviction. Change the conviction, and the condition must change. I gave him an affirmation. I am a free-flowing channel for divine abundance. Money flows to me freely and endlessly. I prosper in all that I do. He resisted at first, for his outer eyes saw only lack, but he persisted, affirming it each morning and night. Slowly the fear dissolved, and opportunities began to appear. He seized them, prospered, and soon his life bore little resemblance to the one he had known. What had changed? Not the world, but the conviction he impressed. The world merely mirrored his new belief. This is the law of correspondence, as within, so without. Life always matches the inner picture. If you hold a vision of weakness, life reflects weakness. If you hold a vision of strength, life reflects strength. The subconscious is the painter, and your thought is the brush. Each stroke creates the image that will appear on the canvas of your days. Therefore, be deliberate with every brushstroke. Do not paint in shadows of fear. Do not sketch in lines of resentment. Instead, paint with the colors of harmony, love, abundance, and peace. See the masterpiece within, and the masterpiece without must appear. The canvas does not resist, it only reflects. Do not think you can impress one belief and reap another. The subconscious is exact. If you sow corn, you cannot reap roses. If you sow thorns, you cannot gather figs. If you affirm sickness, do not expect health. If you affirm failure, do not expect success. But if you affirm with feeling, I am guided by infinite wisdom. I am strong, healthy, and prosperous. Then health and prosperity must appear. The harvest always matches the seed, and you are sowing tonight with every word you speak, every thought you permit, every feeling you allow. Guard your sowing, for tomorrow is already forming from it. One woman once prayed for wealth while secretly believing she was unworthy of it. Her lips said, I desire abundance, but her heart whispered, I am undeserving. And the subconscious, hearing the heart, ignored the lips. She remained in lack until she changed the inner conviction. She began affirming, I am worthy of abundance. I am a child of the infinite. Wealth flows to me because I am one with divine source. Slowly the feeling of unworthiness melted, and as it did, abundance appeared. The law is impartial. It does not grant according to words, but according to belief. Your subconscious does not obey the surface, it obeys the depth, and the depth is feeling. Let me tell you plainly, your subconscious cannot take a joke. If you mock yourself saying, I am always unlucky, or I never succeed, it will take you at your word. Idle words are seeds too, and they sprout just the same. So be vigilant. Speak only what you wish to live. Impress only what you want expressed. This does not mean you must strain or live in fear of every word. It means you must cultivate the habit of truth. Let your daily speech be the echo of your desired life. Let your nightly affirmation be the decree of your destiny. For the subconscious is listening always, and what it hears consistently, it obeys. Some think the law is cruel because it expresses their fears as faithfully as their faith. But it is not cruelty, it is justice. Fire will warm you if you use it wisely. It will burn you if you misuse it. The same law governs both. The subconscious is fire. Use it with fear and it burns. Use it with faith and it warms. The responsibility is yours, but so is the reward. You cannot escape the law, but why would you wish to? For it is the law that grants you freedom, health, abundance, joy. Once you learn to sow rightly, life becomes a garden, not a battlefield. The soil has never been your enemy. It has only waited for you to plant rightly. So tonight, I urge you, do not dwell on what you fear. Do not rehearse what you resent. Do not brood over what you lack. Instead, impress upon your subconscious the life you desire. Imagine it, affirm it, feel it, until it becomes your inner reality. Then rest, for the law will do the rest. You need not force the harvest. You need only plant the seed. The subconscious, united with the infinite, will bring it forth in its season. And when it comes, you will marvel, not at coincidence, but at the faithfulness of the law. Let us close this moment with a living affirmation. Say with me quietly, I am worthy of abundance. I am a child of the infinite. I release fear. I release doubt. I release limitation. Wealth, health, and joy flow to me freely, endlessly. Now, whisper it until your heart believes it. Write it until your mind remembers it. Feel it until your subconscious accepts it. For once accepted, it cannot fail to express. And when tomorrow dawns, you will walk in the harvest of tonight's seed. There is a law woven into the very fabric of existence, a law so perfect, so impartial, that it cannot be bribed, delayed, or denied. It is the law of belief, and it governs your destiny as surely as gravity governs the stone. You may ignore it, but it never ignores you. You may deny it, but it never ceases to act. Every word you speak, every thought you think, every feeling you permit, is impressed upon the subconscious, and the subconscious expresses it without fail. This is why your life is exactly what you think, not what you wish idly, not what you hope half-heartedly, but what you truly believe, what you feel to be true, what you impress deeply within. And the moment you accept this, the moment you stop blaming fate and start directing thought, you hold the keys of heaven in your own hand. One man once told me that he had prayed for years to be free of worry, yet the chains remain. I asked him, what do you do before sleep? He confessed, I review every fear of the day. I imagine tomorrow going wrong. And so his subconscious, faithfully recording, wove those fears into reality. I told him, change the order. Give your subconscious noble commands before sleep. Say, I am calm, I am safe, I am guided by divine wisdom. Tomorrow unfolds in perfect harmony. Repeat it until you drift into slumber. He obeyed, and soon he reported peace, replacing fear, harmony, replacing tension. What changed? Only the seed. The soil was the same, but the seed was new, and the harvest accordingly was new. Remember always, the harvest reveals the seed. If you do not like the crop, change the planting. Do not say, I will try. Say, I will believe. For trying is uncertainty, but belief is command. The subconscious does not act on vague effort, it acts on conviction. When you believe, it gathers unseen forces, aligns circumstances, and bends reality itself to bring forth the image impressed. Believe you are guided, and you will see guidance. Believe you are prosperous, and prosperity will appear. Believe you are healthy, and health will manifest. Believe the opposite, and the opposite appears. The law does not hesitate, it does not judge, it does not favor, it only reflects. You cannot change this law, but you can choose what you believe, and in that choice lies your freedom, your power, your destiny. Think of your subconscious as the soil, your thoughts as seeds, and your feelings as the water that nourishes them. Seeds planted without water cannot grow, and thoughts without feeling cannot impress. But when you unite thought with feeling, when you imagine vividly, when you affirm with conviction, the seed is watered and must sprout. This is why idle repetition often fails, because it is dry. But when you affirm with emotion, with expectancy, with vision, the subconscious accepts and expression follows. Tonight, let your affirmations be alive. Do not recite them like empty formulas. Speak them as though they were already true. Feel them as reality. Let them burn in your heart until the subconscious accepts them as fact. One woman once told me she could never find peace because of constant conflict in her family. I asked her, "What do you affirm about them in your heart?" She answered, "I always think they will never change. They will always bring strife." And indeed, her subconscious faithfully reproduced her decree. I taught her to replace it with "Divine love fills my home. Harmony governs every heart. Peace reigns in my household now." At first she felt she was lying, but persistence turned the false into conviction, and conviction turned into reality. Slowly the conflicts dissolved, and her home reflected the harmony she had finally impressed. The subconscious is impartial. It cares not whether you affirm strife or peace. It only expresses what you believe. Therefore, choose peace, and peace will appear. And I say to you now, never underestimate the creative power within you. Do not reduce yourself to a beggar before light. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a channel of the infinite. The same presence that flung stars into space dwells within you, awaiting your recognition. When you declare, "I am guided, I am abundant, I am whole," you are not speaking empty words. You are commanding the divine law to act. Speak them with reverence. Speak them with confidence. Speak them with persistence. For what is impressed is expressed, and no power in heaven or earth can stop the seed once it is planted and believed. The world will call it luck. Others will call it coincidence. But you will know the truth. You will know that life is but the mirror of your inner state, the echo of your belief, the harvest of your seed. You will know that nothing comes by chance, that everything is law, and you will walk no longer as a beggar, but as a master, no longer as a victim, but as a creator. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and you carry it wherever you go. Guard it, use it, rejoice in it, for it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, and the kingdom is belief. Now let us seal this hour with a final decree. Say it with me. I am one with infinite intelligence. I am guided, healed, and prospered in all that I do. Wealth flows to me. Health shines through me. Peace surrounds me. The law of life is the law of belief, and I believe only in harmony, abundance, and divine order now. Write it, whisper it, feel it, live it. Let it sink so deep into your subconscious that it becomes the very rhythm of your being. And as you sleep tonight, remember you are impressing. And tomorrow life must be expressing. For the law is sure, the law is faithful, the law cannot fail. What if I told you tonight that your bank account is not controlled by the economy, by the government, or by luck, but by the silent convictions pulsing within your subconscious mind? What if I revealed to you that the dollars in your hand, the opportunities that cross your path, the level of prosperity you experience, are nothing more than the reflection of the thoughts you have consistently entertained about wealth? This is not a metaphor. It is law. Your wealth is the exact mirror of your inner world. If you hold thoughts of lack, life will project lack. If you hold thoughts of abundance, life will project abundance. This is why two men working the same job, living in the same city, meeting the same challenges, can have two entirely different destinies, one struggling endlessly, the other thriving with ease. The difference is not faith, but belief. And tonight I am going to show you how to seize that belief and command it to create your prosperity. The subconscious mind is the engine room of wealth. It is the hidden banker within you, issuing checks of abundance or notices of scarcity, depending on the instructions you give it. Understand this clearly. The subconscious does not question your orders. It does not reason whether you deserve wealth or not. It does not calculate fairness. It only acts upon the impressions it receives. If you say, "I never have enough," it will ensure you never have enough. If you say, "Money is always flowing to me," it will organize circumstances to make that true. This is why idle statements are dangerous, why casual complaints about money become lifelong poverty. The subconscious is a perfect servant. It obeys. You are the master. You command. And the command is belief. One young man came to me years ago, crushed beneath the weight of financial failure. He said, "I cannot escape debt. I have tried everything." I asked him, "What do you tell yourself about money each night before you sleep?" He admitted, "I always worry. I imagine creditors knocking. I tell myself that money is hard to earn, that I am destined for struggle." And I told him, "Your subconscious is simply carrying out the picture you gave it. Change the picture and you change your life." I instructed him to affirm before sleep, "Wealth flows to me freely. I am supplied from the inexhaustible treasury of the infinite. Divine abundance is mine now." At first he resisted. It felt false. But he persisted, and soon opportunities appeared, debts cleared, and his prosperity blossomed. What had changed? Not the world, not the economy, only the thought impressed upon his subconscious. You see, the law of wealth is not external, it is internal. As you think in your heart, so will your life be. The stock market may rise or fall, industries may collapse, but the man who knows this law stands firm, prospering regardless of appearances. Because wealth is not something you chase, it is something you radiate. When you impress abundance upon the subconscious, you become a magnet, drawing supply ideas and opportunities from every direction. When you impress poverty, you become a repellent, driving away prosperity, even when it comes near. The law of belief is impartial. It serves both rich and poor with equal faithfulness. The difference is only in what is impressed. There is an ancient truth: to him that hath, more shall be given, but from him that hath not, even that which he hath shall be taken away. This is not injustice, it is law. He that hath is the one who has impressed abundance upon his subconscious. Life adds to him endlessly. He that hath not is the one who has impressed lack upon his subconscious. Life subtracts from him endlessly. The subconscious is always working, multiplying whatever is planted. Plant wealth and wealth multiplies. Plant lack and lack multiplies. This is why I say to you tonight, your wealth is the exact reflection of your thoughts. If you look into your finances and see scarcity, do not curse circumstances. Look within. Ask yourself, what thought am I holding about money? What command am I giving my subconscious? Am I rehearsing poverty, or am I rehearsing prosperity? Am I affirming fear, or am I affirming supply? Life does not withhold wealth. It mirrors your belief about it. And belief is not merely words. It is the emotion you feel when you say those words. You can repeat, "I am wealthy," while secretly feeling poor, and the subconscious will manifest the feeling, not the phrase. But if you repeat, "I am wealthy," with conviction, with imagery, with expectancy, the subconscious will accept it as real, and reality will follow. Let me remind you of a truth that could alter your destiny tonight. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. If you imagine yourself surrounded by abundance, enjoying prosperity, paying bills with ease, living generously, your subconscious will accept that as reality and will move every circumstance to match it. If you imagine only debt, fear, and lack, the subconscious will also accept that as reality and will mirror it. The power is yours. The imagination is the brush, the subconscious is the canvas, and wealth or poverty is the painting. Which masterpiece will you choose to create? I once knew a man who spent his nights declaring, "I am ruined, I am lost, I will never recover." He believed these statements, and his subconscious fulfilled them with cruel precision. Another man, facing the same hardships, chose instead to say, "I am a channel of divine supply. Infinite riches flow to me freely. I prosper wherever I go." His subconscious accepted that decree, and he rose from ruin to fortune. 2 men, 2 beliefs, 2 destinies. Do you see? It is not life that chooses, it is you. The law is mercilessly fair. It grants you whatever you impress. So I say to you tonight, take responsibility for your inner speech. Stop repeating the lies of limitation. Stop bowing to fear. Begin now to affirm wealth with conviction. Do not wait for money to appear before you believe. Believe and money will appear. Say it, write it, feel it. Impress it deeply until the subconscious accepts it. And when it accepts, expression is inevitable. The harvest must match the seed, and the seed is belief. Now let us seal this first night's lesson with a living affirmation. Whisper it, write it, engrave it into the tablet of your mind. I am one with wealth and wisdom, free of fear and doubt. Infinite supply flows through me. I prosper in all that I do. Let these words sink into your subconscious as you sleep. For tonight you are impressing, and tomorrow you will be expressing. Wealth is not a number in the bank, nor a vault of gold, nor the possession of property. Wealth is a state of consciousness, a conviction planted in the depths of your subconscious mind. And whatever is impressed there must appear in your outer life. You may surround yourself with riches and still live in fear of loss, and that fear will eventually strip you bare. Or you may begin with little but hold the unshakable conviction of abundance, and soon supply will flow to you from channels you never imagined. The difference is never the outer, it is always the inner. The outer is only a mirror, and the mirror never lies. Look at your wealth today and you will see reflected back to you the sum total of your dominant thoughts about money, prosperity, and worthiness. A businessman once said to me, "Doctor, every time I earn a little more, something happens, and it is taken from me." I asked him, "What do you believe about money?" He admitted, "I always think money slips away, that I cannot hold on to it." His subconscious, loyal to its orders, obeyed. As fast as he earned, circumstances arose to drain it. I gave him a new decree. Money is constantly flowing to me, and I retain it in divine order. I am a good steward of wealth, and wealth multiplies in my hands. He repeated it daily, visualized his accounts growing, and soon reported that instead of disappearing, his money began to increase. What changed? Only the impression. The subconscious was as faithful to his old poverty belief as it was to his new prosperity belief. The law is exact. What is impressed is expressed. You may wonder, why is it so difficult for many to accept abundance? It is because they have been hypnotized by suggestion. From childhood they were told, money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are greedy, life is hard. These seeds sank into the subconscious and grew into thorny convictions. And now they reap that harvest. But you can reverse it. You can uproot the weeds and plant new seed. Begin to tell yourself, wealth is my divine right. I am worthy of abundance. Infinite supply is flowing to me now. At first the old weeds resist, but persistence overcomes. A new harvest grows. The subconscious cannot resist repeated conviction. If you will repeat wealth, imagine wealth, feel wealth. Your life must reflect wealth. The law is as certain as sunrise. One young woman desired success in her career but was haunted by guilt. She believed wealth meant selfishness. Each time opportunity came, she sabotaged herself. I told her, wealth is not selfish. It is service. Poverty serves no one. With wealth you can bless, you can give, you can create. Say this nightly. Wealth is the circulation of God's good in my life. I am a channel of blessing to others. I prosper, and all prosper with me. She obeyed, and her subconscious accepted the truth. Soon her career blossomed, money flowed, and she gave generously. Wealth no longer frightened her, for she knew it was divine circulation, not hoarding. This is a lesson for all. Wealth is not accumulation, it is flow, and your subconscious governs the flow. Let me say to you now, stop begging life for prosperity. Stop imagining wealth as something external, withheld by fate. You are the banker. Your subconscious holds the vault. What you impress, it dispenses. What you believe, it issues. If you believe in lack, it stamps out bills of lack. If you believe in abundance, it floods you with riches. The law is not personal, it is mechanical. It reflects you with merciless accuracy. This is why you must not play with idle fears. Do not say, I always lose money. Do not joke, I am broke. These words sink into the subconscious and it obeys. Train yourself to speak truth, to affirm abundance, to declare supply. You are programming the greatest treasury in existence. Remember, the subconscious does not measure size. To it, a coin and a fortune are the same. The only difference is the intensity of belief. This is why some receive small blessings while others receive great. The subconscious grants according to your faith, not according to difficulty. One man affirms for a cup of coffee and receives it. Another affirms for a fortune and receives it. To the subconscious there is no difference. It only knows conviction. Do not limit your request by human reasoning. Do not say this is too big. The subconscious does not know big or small. It knows only belief. Therefore expand your belief. Dare to affirm great things. Dare to imagine wealth without limit. The infinite has no measure. Why should you? And here lies a paradox. Many fear wealth. They fear that if it comes, they will lose friends, attract envy, or fall into pride. These hidden fears block supply. For the subconscious will not give you what you secretly reject. Examine your heart. Do you fear wealth as much as you desire it? If so, dissolve the fear. Say to yourself, wealth is safe. Wealth is divine. Wealth is my right, and it blesses me and all around me. Repeat it until the fear dissolves. When the fear goes, the gate opens and supply flows unhindered. The subconscious never withholds. It only protects you from what you secretly fear. Remove the fear and the flow is free. Another man once came to me paralyzed by guilt over money. He said, "Doctor, I feel unworthy of abundance. My parents were poor. Who am I to have more than they did?" I told him, "You are a child of the infinite. The wealth of God is endless. Your prosperity does not rob your parents, it honors them. To prosper is to prove the law. Say, I am worthy of abundance. I am an heir to the riches of the infinite." He practiced it, and soon wealth flowed, and his guilt dissolved. Let this truth take hold of you. Worthiness is not earned. It is inherent. The moment you believe you are worthy, the subconscious begins to express that worthiness as abundance. I say to you tonight, stop waiting for life to change before you believe in wealth. Believe first, and life will change. Stop demanding proof before conviction. Conviction is the proof. As within, so without. Wealth is not a reward from outside, it is the reflection of your inner state. This is why the law is infallible. Life cannot give you what you do not first believe. The subconscious cannot express what you do not impress. Decide tonight to impress abundance, and tomorrow must begin to reflect it. Let us seal this truth with affirmation. Say it with me now, not as empty sound, but as decree. I am worthy of divine abundance. Wealth flows to me freely. I am a channel of blessing and supply. Whisper it until it becomes conviction. Write it until it becomes memory. Feel it until it becomes reality. For what is impressed is expressed, and your wealth is nothing more, nothing less than the exact reflection of your thoughts. Wealth begins and ends in the mind, for the mind is the only true treasury. Every dollar you hold, every opportunity you meet, every door that opens to you is the echo of the belief you have planted in your subconscious. If you secretly believe that money is scarce, life will reflect scarcity. If you secretly believe that money flows freely, life will reflect abundance. The law does not waver. It does not hesitate. It mirrors back to you the sum total of your convictions. That is why some men work tirelessly and remain poor, while others move with ease and prosper. It is not effort alone that creates wealth. It is belief. Effort without conviction is barren. Belief joined with action is fruitful. One man told me, "Doctor, I toil every day, yet I gain nothing. My neighbor works less, yet he grows wealthy. Where is the justice?" I said, "The justice is in law. Your subconscious has been impressed with struggle, with futility, with defeat, and it faithfully produces according to that pattern. Your neighbor has been impressed with success, with ease, with abundance, and his subconscious faithfully produces according to that pattern. The law is impartial. It is not favoritism, it is reflection. I gave him a new decree. Divine order governs my affairs. Wealth flows to me without strain. I prosper in all that I do." He repeated it daily, replacing his inner conversation of struggle with one of success. Soon he reported that opportunities came to him unbidden, and his labor bore fruit. Nothing had changed outwardly at first, but inwardly the seed had shifted, and the harvest soon followed. Understand this. Your subconscious will always give you evidence of what you believe. If you believe the world is hostile, it will produce hostile encounters. If you believe wealth belongs only to others, it will keep wealth away from you. If you believe money corrupts, it will ensure that money never stays with you. And yet, if you believe money is divine circulation, a tool for good, a blessing to all, then it will flow into your life freely. The subconscious cannot resist belief. It must obey. So ask yourself tonight, what are you commanding it to express? What is the blueprint you have handed to the builder within? A young woman once came to me and said, I long for prosperity, but I always feel that money is evil. Her subconscious, loyal to her belief, ensured that she remained in lack. I told her, wealth is not evil, wealth is good when used for good. It builds hospitals, feeds the hungry, educates the young, and spreads light. Say this, money is God's good in circulation. I am a channel for divine abundance. I use wealth wisely and lovingly. She began to affirm it, to see herself giving generously, to feel at peace with money. Soon opportunities for work came to her, and money flowed with ease. Her subconscious, once bound by fear, was now released by truth, and the reflection changed. Never forget, it is not the outer conditions that create your wealth. Outer conditions are the shadows. Inner conviction is the substance. If you would change the shadow, change the substance. Many cry, when I have money, I will feel secure. But security does not come after money. It comes before. Feel secure now, and money will come as its reflection. Many say, when I succeed, I will feel confident. But confidence does not come after success. It comes before. Feel confident now, and success will come as its reflection. The law always begins within. As within, so without. Do not despise small beginnings. The subconscious responds not to size, but to belief. If you affirm confidently for a small sum and receive it, your subconscious gains conviction, and you can affirm for greater sums with ease. The principle is the same. To the subconscious, a coin and a fortune are equal. It knows no measure but conviction. That is why I tell you, never limit yourself by reasoning. This is too much, too far, too big. Nothing is too big for the subconscious, for it is one with infinite supply. Dare to affirm boldly. Dare to imagine freely. Dare to believe in wealth without boundary. Remember, too, that resentment blocks wealth. If you envy the prosperous, you are affirming lack. If you curse the rich, you are cursing yourself. Your subconscious hears every word, records every emotion, and reflects it. Instead, bless the rich. Rejoice in the wealth of others. Say, I wish for them every blessing. I rejoice in their prosperity, and I attract prosperity too. This attitude dissolves envy and opens the floodgates of your own abundance. You cannot attract what you secretly condemn, but when you bless, you align yourself with the very wealth you admire. One man once struggled endlessly because he resented his wealthy employer. He said, it is unjust that he has so much and I so little. I told him, by resenting him, you are affirming poverty. Bless him instead. Rejoice in his abundance and declare your own. Reluctantly he obeyed, and soon opportunities arose for him to start his own business. Within years he was prosperous himself. The moment he stopped condemning wealth, his subconscious stopped reflecting poverty. He impressed blessing, and expression followed. So I say to you tonight, guard your thoughts, for they are wealth or poverty in seed form. Guard your feelings, for they water the seed. Guard your words, for they are decrees to the subconscious. Every I am you speak is an order. Do not say I am broke. Say I am rich in divine supply. Do not say I am unlucky. Say I am guided by infinite intelligence. The subconscious does not argue, it obeys. Speak only what you wish to see, and the law must mirror it. Let us seal tonight's lesson with a decree of abundance. Say with me now with conviction, I am a channel of divine supply. Wealth flows to me in endless streams. I rejoice in the prosperity of others, and I prosper too. Whisper it until it sinks deep. Write it until it carves into your mind. Feel it until your subconscious accepts it. For once accepted, it must be expressed, and your wealth will rise to the exact reflection of your thoughts. Wealth does not arrive by chance, nor is it dispensed by luck. Wealth is a law, a certainty, as exact as gravity and as impartial as the sunrise. This law is written into the structure of your being. Your subconscious mind will always produce in your outer world the exact equivalent of the thoughts impressed upon it. You may call it the law of belief or the law of correspondence, but whatever name you give it, the principle remains unshaken. Your outer fortune mirrors your inner conviction. If you secretly hold that wealth is fleeting, it will flee from you. If you secretly believe that money is scarce, scarcity will mark your days. But if you hold the conviction that abundance is the natural rhythm of life, that prosperity flows like a river through you, then wealth will appear, often from directions you least expect. The law cannot fail you. It can only reflect you. A young merchant once came to me burdened with constant setbacks. He said, "Doctor, I work harder than all my competitors, but my store lingers in failure while theirs flourish. Why is this?" I asked him, "What do you affirm in your heart about business?" He replied, "I always fear losing customers. I expect to fail." I told him, "Your subconscious is giving you exactly what you impress. Stop rehearsing failure. Begin now to impress success." I gave him this decree: divine order governs my store. I attract loyal customers. Prosperity surrounds my business now. He practiced faithfully, especially before sleep. Within months, his store transformed, and prosperity came where poverty once ruled. Did the law play favorites? No, it simply obeyed the new command. What he impressed, it expressed. Consider this truth. Your subconscious is not moved by begging. It is not swayed by desperate pleas. It responds only to conviction. You may cry for wealth, but if you secretly believe in lack, lack will remain. You may repeat prayers endlessly, but if fear rules your heart, fear will manifest. But when you declare with faith, "I am one with abundance. Infinite supply is mine now," and feel it is true, the subconscious accepts it as fact and moves heaven and earth to bring it forth. This is why faith is called the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is not wishful thinking. It is emotional conviction impressed upon the subconscious. Do not forget that the subconscious cannot distinguish between real and imagined, between present and future. It accepts as real whatever you impress with feeling. If you vividly picture yourself prosperous, living with ease, giving generously, your subconscious accepts it and sets forces in motion to make it so. If you vividly picture yourself in debt, worrying about bills, fearing loss, your subconscious also accepts it and makes it so. The imagination is the brush, the subconscious is the canvas, your life is the painting. If you dislike the painting, change the brushstroke. Paint differently in your inner world, and the outer picture must follow. One woman once prayed for wealth, but always said, "I cannot see how it will come. I am trapped." Her words of prayer were powerless, because her inner feeling was fear. I told her, "Stop focusing on the how. That is not your part. Your task is only to impress the end result. Declare, 'I am supplied by infinite source. Wealth flows to me in ways I cannot see.' Trust the law to handle the details." She obeyed, and soon unexpected income and opportunities appeared. The law did not require her strategy. It required her belief. The subconscious, once convinced, orchestrated the how without her calculation. Remember, your conscious mind is the captain giving orders. The subconscious is the crew carrying them out. Do not confuse their roles. Command with faith, and let the crew fulfill the order. The greatest enemy of wealth is resentment. If you envy the rich, if you curse those who prosper, you are affirming lack for yourself. Your subconscious hears your curse and reflects it in your life. But if you bless the rich, rejoice in their abundance, and declare your own, you align yourself with the flow of wealth. Life cannot give you what you condemn. Therefore, say often, "I rejoice in the success of others. Wealth flows to me too." This dissolves envy, frees your subconscious, and opens the floodgates of prosperity. The law is impartial. It will multiply whatever seed you plant, whether of envy or of blessing. Choose blessing. You must also beware of speaking idly about money. To say "I am broke" in jest is to impress poverty. To say "I always struggle with money" is to impress struggle. The subconscious does not know you are joking. It hears the command and obeys. Train yourself to speak only of abundance, to affirm only prosperity, to decree only wealth. Let your words mirror the life you desire, not the life you fear. For every word you speak is a seed, and every seed will bear fruit. Guard your tongue, and you guard your treasure. A man once told me he feared asking for wealth, because he thought it was selfish. I said to him, "Wealth is not selfish. Wealth is circulation. Poverty serves no one. With wealth you can give, you can bless, you can create. Declare, 'I am a channel for divine supply.' My prosperity blesses all I meet. He obeyed, and his wealth grew, and his giving multiplied. Wealth is not hoarding, it is flow. When you understand this, guilt dissolves, and prosperity appears without resistance. So I say to you tonight, plant only noble seed in your subconscious. Plant the conviction of abundance. Plant the decree of prosperity. Plant the vision of wealth used wisely, and the law will do the rest. You need not strain, you need only impress. What you impress will be expressed. The law is exact, and the law is unfailing. Let us seal this truth with affirmation. Say now with conviction, I am one with the riches of the infinite. Divine supply flows to me freely. I prosper without strain, and I bless others with my wealth. Whisper it until your heart believes it. Write it until your mind remembers it. Feel it until your subconscious accepts it. For once accepted, it must be expressed, and your life will reflect the wealth you dare to believe. Wealth is not a stranger trying to find you. Wealth is your constant companion waiting for you to recognize it. The infinite source is never depleted, never withholding, never reluctant to give. It is your subconscious, patterned by belief, that either opens the gates of abundance or closes them. This is why two people may live in the same city, face the same conditions, and yet one walks in prosperity while the other trudges in lack. The difference lies not in opportunity, but in conviction. One has impressed abundance, and so it flows. The other has impressed lack, and so it lingers. The law does not play favorites, it simply mirrors belief. And tonight as you listen, you are holding in your hands the keys of wealth, for the key is thought impressed with feeling upon the subconscious. There was a woman who told me she was cursed in finances. She said, each time I receive money, some crisis takes it away. I asked her what she believed about money. She answered, I always fear it slipping away. And indeed, her subconscious made sure to fulfill that belief. I gave her a new decree. I am a wise steward of divine supply. Money multiplies in my hands. I hold it, I grow it, I use it for good. She wrote it, whispered it each night before sleep, and soon the pattern shifted. Unexpectedly, her expenses reduced, her income increased, and for the first time in years she found money staying with her. The curse was never real. It was simply the subconscious carrying out an old command. The new command produced a new harvest. Understand this truth. Your subconscious mind is not a hoarder of wealth. It is the channel through which wealth circulates. When you impress poverty, you dam the flow. When you impress abundance, you open the stream. Money is not static. It is circulation, like the blood in your veins, like the current in the ocean. The moment you fear money, you contract. The moment you bless money, you expand. This is why fear of loss often produces loss, while gratitude for supply multiplies it. The subconscious listens not only to words, but to feelings, and feelings of fear constrict the flow. Replace fear with faith, and circulation resumes. A man once said to me, I pray for money, but nothing happens. I asked him, how do you pray? He said, I beg God to relieve me. And I told him, you are impressing lack, not wealth. Begging is the language of poverty. Prayer is not pleading, it is alignment. Say instead, infinite supply is mine now. I thank God for my prosperity. Pray as if it is done, not as if it is withheld. He followed the advice, shifting his prayer from begging to thanksgiving. In time, new clients came, new contracts opened, and his prosperity unfolded. The law responded not to his words, but to his conviction. His subconscious, once impressed with desperation, was now impressed with abundance, and expression followed. Do not be deceived by appearances. The wealth you see in your hand today is not the measure of your wealth. It is the shadow of yesterday's belief. If you want a new measure, plant a new belief. Stop saying, when I have more money, I will feel secure. Feel secure now, and money will follow. Stop saying, when I succeed, I will believe I am worthy. Believe you are worthy now, and success will follow. Life always waits for your inner state before it adjusts the outer. As within, so without. This law cannot be broken. And beware of resentment toward those who prosper. Envy is poverty's accomplice. When you envy, you are declaring to your subconscious that wealth is separate from you, belonging only to others. And your subconscious, hearing your decree, obeys, keeping wealth from you. But when you bless the prosperous, When you rejoice in their wealth, you declare to your subconscious that abundance is available to all, including you, and it must reflect that belief. Therefore say often, I rejoice in the prosperity of others. I attract prosperity too. This dissolves envy and aligns you with the flow of abundance. One student of mine used this practice faithfully. He had always envied his wealthy brother, and his resentment had chained him to poverty. I told him to reverse it. Each time he thought of his brother, he was to say, I bless his wealth, I rejoice in his abundance, and I attract prosperity now. Reluctantly he obeyed, but soon his own fortunes shifted, opportunities came, and wealth flowed to him. He realized that by cursing his brother, he had cursed himself. By blessing his brother, he had freed himself. The subconscious does not separate. It reflects the emotion you impress, whether of envy or of joy. Now understand this. The subconscious is not limited by time. It works day and night, tirelessly, endlessly, carrying out the orders given. This is why what you impress before sleep is so powerful. The conscious mind rests, but the subconscious keeps working, arranging circumstances, shifting patterns, opening doors. Give it noble orders as you drift into sleep. Do not let fear be your last word. Let faith be. Say, I am one with the riches of the infinite. My sleep is filled with wealth. My waking is filled with abundance. Fall asleep in that state, and you will rise to meet a day already prepared in prosperity. Let us impress this truth now with living decree. Say with me, I am a channel of divine circulation. Money multiplies in my hands. I bless the prosperity of others, and prosperity flows to me. Whisper it until your subconscious hears. Write it until your heart believes. Feel it until it becomes conviction. For what is impressed tonight will be expressed tomorrow, and your wealth will rise as the exact reflection of your thoughts. Wealth is not built by accident, nor is poverty the result of chance. Both are the fruit of law, the law of belief operating through the subconscious mind. Just as a field will grow wheat or weeds depending on the seed planted, your life will grow abundance or lack depending on the thoughts you have sown. The soil never argues with the farmer. It yields whatever is given to it. The subconscious never argues with you. It reflects whatever you impress upon it. This is why so many who labor endlessly never prosper. They have planted seeds of struggle instead of seeds of abundance. And this is why others with less visible effort rise with ease, for they have planted seeds of wealth in the garden of their subconscious. The law is unfailing. As you sow, so shall you reap. One man told me, I have tried for years to prosper, yet I remain the same. I asked him, what do you say about money in your inner dialogue? He replied, I always think, it's hard to get. There's never enough. Others succeed, but not me. His words were the seeds, his subconscious the soil, and his poverty the harvest. I gave him new words to plant. Infinite supply is mine now. Wealth flows to me freely. Money comes to me in avalanches of abundance. At first it felt foreign, even false, but persistence overcame doubt. Within months his fortunes began to change, opportunities appeared, and his subconscious, now carrying a new pattern, faithfully expressed it. Nothing in his world changed until he changed the seed. Understand this. The subconscious accepts suggestion most easily when wrapped in imagery and feeling. Words alone, dry and mechanical, often fail to penetrate. But words spoken with vision, with emotion, with expectancy, sink deep. Imagine yourself walking in prosperity. Feel the joy of financial freedom. Picture the ease of paying every bill, the generosity of giving freely, the security of abundant supply. The subconscious cannot tell whether it is present reality or inner imagination. It accepts what you feel as fact, and what it accepts, it must express. This is why I tell you to imagine vividly, to affirm with passion, to speak with faith. The subconscious is moved not by cold repetition, but by living conviction. A woman once said, I affirm wealth, but it never comes. I asked, what do you feel when you affirm it? She admitted, I feel fear. I feel like I am lying to myself. Her subconscious accepted the fear, not the words. I instructed her to imagine receiving money, to picture herself joyful and confident, to say with feeling, I am worthy of divine abundance. Money comes to me easily, I use it wisely and lovingly. Slowly her fear dissolved. replaced by conviction. Soon she reported new income, new opportunities, new security. The words were the same, but the feeling was new, and the subconscious responded to the feeling. Never forget, the subconscious is literal. It takes every I am as a command. Say, I am broke, and it manifests poverty. Say, I am unlucky, and it organizes failure. But say, I am rich in divine supply. I am a magnet for prosperity. I am guided in all that I do, and it moves heaven and earth to make it so. Guard your I am statements, for they are laws to your subconscious. Each one is a seed that must bear fruit. Do not plant weeds by carelessness. Plant wealth by intention. Speak only what you wish to see, and soon you will see only what you speak. Do not despise the power of gratitude, for gratitude is wealth in embryo. To be thankful for what you have is to affirm abundance, and the subconscious multiplies what is affirmed. To complain of what you lack is to affirm scarcity, and the subconscious multiplies what is denied. Therefore, cultivate gratitude daily. Say, I give thanks for divine supply. I give thanks for the wealth flowing to me now. Gratitude is not only polite, it is magnetic. It tells the subconscious, I am already abundant, and the subconscious expresses more abundance to match. Gratitude turns little into much, while complaint turns much into little. A man once resented the wealthy, cursing them under his breath. He wondered why prosperity fled from him. I told him, you cannot attract what you condemn. Bless the prosperous, rejoice in their success, declare your own abundance. He obeyed, replacing envy with blessing. He said daily, I rejoice in the wealth of others. I am one with prosperity too. Soon his own fortunes shifted. The subconscious had once been commanded to keep wealth away through resentment. Now it was commanded to attract wealth through blessing, and it obeyed as faithfully in poverty as it did in prosperity. The law never fails, it only reflects the seed. Do not think wealth comes only in wages or business. The subconscious is connected to infinite intelligence, and it can create channels you cannot imagine. When you impress abundance, doors open, ideas arise, people appear, circumstances align. You need not know how the subconscious and the infinite will handle the details. Your task is only to hold the conviction of wealth, to believe it as real, to affirm it as yours. Leave the method to the law. Faith is planting the seed and trusting the soil to do its work. The harvest is certain. Tonight, as you prepare for rest, give your subconscious noble commands. Do not fall asleep rehearsing fear of bills, worry of debt, resentment of lack. Instead, say with calm conviction, I am wealthy in mind and substance. Infinite supply flows to me now. I prosper while I sleep. These words will sink deep, and your subconscious will work through the night, shaping tomorrow according to the seed you sow tonight. Let us close this moment with affirmation. Say now, I am worthy of divine abundance. Money flows to me in endless streams. I am grateful, I am prosperous, I am free. Whisper it until your heart believes. Write it until your mind remembers. Feel it until your subconscious accepts. For once impressed, it must be expressed, and wealth will appear as the exact reflection of your thought. Wealth is not something you pursue desperately. It is something you allow. The harder a man chases money in fear and tension, the faster it escapes him. For fear is the command that the subconscious obeys. But when you rest in conviction, when you affirm with calm assurance that abundance is yours now, money flows to you like iron filings to a magnet. You do not strain to pull it. You simply align with the law, and the law brings it forth. Poverty comes not from lack of effort, but from wrong belief. Wealth comes not from strain, but from right impression. The law is impartial. It multiplies whatever is impressed upon the subconscious, whether of lack or abundance, fear or faith. One man once told me he lived in terror of poverty. Each night he would whisper, what if I lose everything? What if tomorrow brings disaster? And in time his fears came true. Business collapsed, friends deserted, health declined. His subconscious had been commanded to produce disaster, and disaster appeared. I told him, reverse it now. Stop giving orders of ruin. Begin to give orders of prosperity. I instructed him to affirm, I am one with infinite supply. Prosperity is mine now. Every day is filled with opportunity. He resisted at first, but persistence wore down the old groove. Soon his business revived. New partners appeared. and fortune returned. His subconscious was as faithful to his fear as it was to his faith. The law had never changed, it had only obeyed. Understand this, money is never the root, it is always the fruit. If you focus only on money, you are chasing shadows. Focus instead on the inner conviction of abundance, and the fruit must follow. A tree does not struggle to bear apples, it simply lives from the life within. You do not need to struggle for money, you need only to impress abundance, and money will appear as the natural fruit. Say often, I am rooted in the infinite. Wealth is my natural expression. Feel it until it becomes conviction, and the harvest will follow without strain. A woman once said, Doctor, I have prayed for money for years, but heaven is silent. I asked, what do you believe as you pray? She confessed, I believe I will never have it. Her words were of abundance, but her feeling was of lack, and the subconscious obeyed the feeling. I taught her to pray differently, not with begging, but with thanksgiving. She began to affirm, thank you, Father, for my abundance. Thank you that supply is mine now. She fell asleep nightly in gratitude, imagining her needs met. In time, her life reflected her prayer. The law had not ignored her before. It had obeyed her belief. Now, with a new belief, the law expressed a new result. Never underestimate the power of imagination. If you picture yourself always in debt, always behind, always struggling, your subconscious will manifest exactly that. But if you picture yourself walking in freedom, giving generously, living with ease, your subconscious will manifest exactly that. The picture is the seed. The subconscious is the soil, and your life is the harvest. Do not picture what you fear. Picture what you desire. Live the image within, and life will reflect it without. And do not fall into the trap of resentment. Many secretly curse wealth even as they seek it. They say the rich are greedy, money is evil, and the subconscious obedient ensures they never join the ranks of those they condemn. But when you bless wealth, rejoice in prosperity, and affirm abundance for yourself and others, your subconscious aligns with prosperity. You cannot attract what you secretly despise, but you will always attract what you bless. Therefore say, I rejoice in the prosperity of others. I welcome abundance into my own life. The law will multiply blessing with blessing. A young student once envied her wealthy friend. She thought, why not me? Life is unfair. I told her, reverse your thought. Each time you see her wealth, say, I bless her abundance. Mine is coming too. She obeyed. Slowly the envy dissolved, replaced by joy. Soon opportunities came to her, and wealth began to flow. She realized that by condemning her friend, she had condemned herself. By blessing her friend, she had freed herself. The subconscious had simply obeyed. Do not limit the ways supply can reach you. The subconscious, united with infinite intelligence, has infinite channels. Money may come through work, through gifts, through unexpected opportunities, through ideas, through open doors you never saw before. Do not confine the law to one channel. Simply declare, I am one with infinite supply. Money flows to me in perfect ways. Then rest, knowing the how is not your concern. The subconscious will organize the how with perfect order. Your part is to believe in the end. Now let us engrave this truth with affirmation. Say with me, I am rooted in the infinite. Money flows to me freely, endlessly, perfectly. I rejoice in the prosperity of others, and I attract prosperity too. Whisper it as you rest. Write it until it is etched into memory. Feel it until your subconscious accepts it. For what is impressed is always expressed, and your wealth tomorrow will be the exact reflection of your thoughts tonight. Wealth is not measured by the possessions you count, but by the consciousness you carry. There are men with millions who still live in poverty because their minds are haunted by fear of loss. And there are others with little who radiate abundance because their minds are saturated with faith in infinite supply. Your subconscious is the storehouse, and it will never contradict your dominant belief. If you carry conviction of abundance, wealth must appear. If you carry conviction of scarcity, lack must appear. Life is not cruel, it is exact. It is not random, it is precise. It is not unjust, it is faithful to the seed you plant. This is why I tell you, stop fighting shadows in the outer world and begin planting new seed within. A man once came to me who said, every time I earn money, I lose it quickly. I asked him, what thought dominates you when money comes? He confessed, I always think, this won't last. And so his subconscious, hearing the order, fulfilled it faithfully. I gave him a new decree. I retain and multiply wealth. Money stays with me and grows in my hands. Infinite supply circulates through me in perfect ways. He repeated it each night, feeling as though it were true. In time, the old pattern dissolved, and money began to remain, to multiply, to flow without fleeing. His harvest changed because his seed changed. Do you see? The law cannot fail. It only reflects the command. Wealth will never stay where fear rules. Fear of money leaving is itself the order that causes it to leave. Fear of poverty is itself the order that creates poverty. But faith in supply, gratitude for abundance, expectancy of prosperity, these are orders that wealth must obey. The subconscious listens to the language of emotion more than the noise of words. If you say, I am prosperous, but feel fear, the fear is the impression. If you say, I am wealthy, and feel confidence, the confidence is the impression. Therefore, cultivate the feeling of abundance. Imagine it, rejoice in it, give thanks for it, until it feels real within. Then the subconscious will take it as fact and express it without. A woman once said, I believe in prosperity, but my bills frighten me. I told her, each bill is not your enemy. It is an opportunity to affirm supply. Bless it. Say, this bill is already paid in divine order. Infinite supply meets all my needs now. Treat each obligation as evidence of the law at work, not as a threat of ruin. She obeyed, blessing each bill instead of fearing it. Soon her income increased and the burden dissolved. What had changed? Not the bills. They were still there. What changed was her impression. Fear was replaced by faith, and her subconscious reflecting faith produced supply. Do not say money is hard to get. That is a command to the subconscious. Say instead, money flows to me freely and endlessly. Do not say, I can never afford that. That is a decree of poverty. Say instead, infinite intelligence supplies me in all ways. I can afford the life I desire. Your subconscious is not judging your words. It is obeying them. Guard them as you would guard jewels. Each sentence is either a lock upon your vault or a key that opens it. Choose your words as carefully as you would choose the gold you place in your hands. And remember this, resentment against wealth is resentment against yourself. If you curse money, you command the subconscious to keep it away. If you envy the rich, you command your subconscious to keep you poor. But when you bless wealth, when you rejoice in the prosperity of others, when you declare abundance for all, you align yourself with the very thing you desire. Say often, I rejoice in the wealth of others. I bless money as God's good in circulation. I attract prosperity too. This simple practice dissolves envy and impresses abundance. The subconscious, faithful as always, will mirror it. One young student practiced this faithfully. She had always envied her wealthy relatives, feeling left behind. I told her to replace envy with blessing. Each time she thought of them, she was to affirm, I rejoice in their abundance. My supply is flowing too. Within months, she received unexpected promotions and gifts, and her prosperity blossomed. She realized that her subconscious had once obeyed her envy, keeping her poor, but now obeyed her blessing, making her prosperous. The law never faltered. It only reflected the seed. Do not try to dictate the channel through which money must come. Do not say it must arrive this way, from this source, by this means. That is limitation. Declare instead, infinite supply flows to me in perfect ways. Money comes to me from every direction. Leave the method to the law. The subconscious, united with infinite intelligence, has countless channels you cannot see. Your task is not to manage the method, but to hold the conviction. Say the end result as though it is already done, and the how will take care of itself. So tonight as you rest, do not carry fear into sleep. Carry faith. Do not review lack in your mind. Review abundance. Imagine yourself paying every bill with ease, giving generously, living freely. Say, I am one with divine abundance. Wealth fills my life now. Fall asleep in that conviction, and your subconscious will work through the night, preparing a tomorrow that reflects your belief. Now let us impress this truth with living words. Say with me, I am a magnet for divine supply. Money flows to me in perfect ways. I rejoice in the prosperity of others, and I attract prosperity too. Repeat it until it becomes your heartbeat, Write it until it becomes your heartbeat. Write it until it becomes your memory. Feel it until it becomes your reality. For what is impressed is always expressed, and your wealth tomorrow will be nothing more than the exact reflection of your thoughts tonight. Wealth is not elusive, hiding somewhere outside of you. It is within you, waiting for recognition. The subconscious mind is the storehouse of infinite supply, and it releases to you exactly what you believe. If you see yourself as poor, you will remain poor, no matter the opportunities around you. If you see yourself as abundant, you will prosper, even in conditions that others call impossible. The outer world is never the source, it is the reflection. The true source is always the inner conviction you plant in the subconscious. As you believe about wealth, so it will be unto you. Say this to yourself now, and let it take root. My wealth is the exact reflection of my thoughts. A man once came to me declaring, I cannot escape poverty, it clings to me like a shadow. I asked him, what words do you repeat to yourself about money? He admitted, I always say I never have enough. There's always a lack. And his subconscious, hearing the command, created lack without fail. I gave him a new statement. I am one with infinite abundance. I always have more than enough. Money flows to me in avalanches of good. He resisted at first, but he repeated it before sleep, and soon he reported unexpected income opportunities and growth. His poverty had been nothing more than a thought impressed. His wealth came when the thought changed. The subconscious never withheld. It only mirrored his command. Understand this clearly. Money itself is neutral. It is not good or evil. It is a tool. Your belief about it gives it direction. If you see money as corrupt, your subconscious will keep it away. If you see money as circulation of good, your subconscious will bring it to you freely. Wealth is never in the paper, it is in the belief behind it. Two men may hold the same bill. One sees fear, and the bill flees. The other sees abundance, and the bill multiplies. The difference lies not in the bill, but in the subconscious. Life reflects the belief you attach to money, not the money itself. A woman once feared that if she gained wealth, she would lose friends. This hidden fear blocked prosperity from her. I told her, wealth is not loss, it is blessing. Prosperity will not rob you of friends. It will allow you to bless them more. Affirm this, my wealth blesses me and blesses others. Prosperity strengthens all my relationships. She practiced, and as her subconscious accepted the belief, money flowed, and her friendships deepened instead of dissolving. Her old fear had been a command to reject wealth. Her new belief became the command to accept it. The subconscious obeyed both with equal precision. Remember, your subconscious responds to every impression, whether spoken by you or absorbed from others. If you listen daily to complaints of lack, to fears of recession, to curses against money, and let them sink in, your subconscious will act upon them as though you had spoken them. Guard your mind as you would guard a treasury. Do not allow the words of fear to become seed in your soil. Choose your company wisely, your conversations carefully, your inner speech deliberately. You are always sowing. Sow only abundance, and the harvest will be rich. One man said to me, Doctor, I have been ruined by the economy. I told him, no economy can ruin a man whose subconscious is impressed with abundance. Others may call it collapse, but you can call it opportunity. Declare, I prosper regardless of conditions. Infinite supply flows through me unhindered. He obeyed, and while others struggled, he prospered. Not because the economy changed, but because his belief changed. His subconscious did not reflect the newspapers, it reflected his conviction, and life rearranged itself to match. This is why I tell you, never let outer conditions dictate your belief. Dictate your belief, and the outer conditions must obey. Do not think wealth comes only in visible ways. The subconscious, united with infinite intelligence, has infinite channels. It can bring you ideas, contacts, inventions, gifts, inheritances, opportunities that seem miraculous. You do not need to know the method. You need only to hold the conviction of wealth, to feel it as though it is true now. The subconscious will organize the details. To demand the how is to limit the infinite. To believe in the end is to free it. Therefore say, wealth is mine now. Supply flows in perfect ways. And then rest, knowing the law is at work. Gratitude multiplies wealth. To give thanks for what you have, even if little, is to affirm abundance, and the subconscious will expand it. To complain about what you lack is to affirm scarcity, and the subconscious will shrink it. Therefore, each day, bless what you hold. Give thanks for every coin, every bill, every opportunity. Say, I am grateful for the wealth I have. I am grateful for the greater wealth flowing to me now. Gratitude is the language of faith, and faith is the command the subconscious obeys. So I ask you tonight, what will you impress? Will you command poverty with fear, or will you command wealth with faith? Will you whisper lack to yourself as you fall asleep, or will you whisper abundance? The choice is always yours, and the subconscious is always listening. Impress wealth, and wealth will express. Impress poverty, and poverty will express. The law never fails. It only mirrors the seed. Now let us engrave this moment with the creed. Say with me, I am one with infinite abundance. I am grateful. I am prosperous. I am free. Wealth flows to me from every direction now. Speak it until it becomes conviction. Write it until it becomes law. Feel it until your subconscious accepts it. For what is impressed tonight will be expressed tomorrow, and your wealth will forever rise as the exact reflection of your thoughts. Wealth is not a reward granted by fate, nor is poverty a punishment imposed by life. Both are the fruit of law, and the law is always impartial. What you believe, you receive. What you impress, you express. There is no exception, no deviation, no escape. Your subconscious mind is always at work, day and night, building the conditions of your life from the material of your thoughts. If you fill it with fear of loss, you will lose. If you fill it with belief in abundance, you will prosper. Life is exact, and it will mirror the conviction you hold most deeply. This is why wealth can never be taken from a man who believes in abundance, and why poverty will cling to one who believes in lack, even if surrounded by opportunity. The law is unbending. Your wealth is the exact reflection of your thoughts. One man once asked me, Doctor, is it truly so simple? Can thought alone create wealth? I told him thought alone does not create, but thought impressed upon the subconscious with feeling, with conviction, with repetition, that is the seed of creation. The subconscious then acts as the soil, the unseen worker, drawing upon infinite intelligence to bring forth the harvest. He practiced this, affirming nightly, I am supplied by divine abundance. Wealth flows to me in perfect ways. He began to imagine himself prosperous, generous, secure. In time, opportunities came to him unasked, and his life was transformed. He said, it is as though life itself conspired to make me rich. And indeed, life had, because his subconscious had been impressed and law had expressed. Understand this, the subconscious does not measure size. It does not say, this request is small, that one is too large. To it, a dollar and a fortune are the same. The only difference is your belief. If you believe you can receive only small things, it will give you small things. If you dare to believe for great things, it will give you great things. The limitation is never in the law. It is always in your own belief. Therefore, expand your vision. Dare to see yourself as wealthy, as secure, as abundant. Dare to affirm boldly, I am one with the riches of the infinite. I prosper in all that I do. The subconscious will accept it, and once accepted, it must be expressed. Do not poison your seed with fear. Many affirm prosperity, but secretly doubt, secretly expect failure, and the subconscious, hearing the doubt, obeys. You cannot plant corn and reap roses. You cannot affirm wealth while believing in poverty. The harvest always matches the seed. Therefore, guard your feelings as well as your words. Speak wealth, feel wealth, imagine wealth, until every fiber of your being believes it. When your words, your feelings, and your vision align, the subconscious accepts fully and the expression becomes inevitable. One woman once lived in constant dread of poverty, though she had enough. Her subconscious, impressed with fear, created continual shortages. I told her, reverse it now. Each time fear whispers, answer with faith. Each time doubt arises, replace it with thanksgiving. She began to say daily, I am grateful for infinite supply. I am always provided for. Gratitude became her shield, and fear dissolved. Soon her life reflected her new belief. Money multiplied, opportunities expanded, and peace replaced tension. The subconscious had obeyed both her old fear and her new faith with equal fidelity. The law had not failed, it had only mirrored her conviction. Do not think wealth is selfish, for poverty serves no one. With wealth you can bless, you can build, you can give, you can create. Wealth is divine circulation flowing through you to the world. The more you bless others, the more you are blessed. The more you give, the more flows to you. Say often, I am a channel of divine supply. My prosperity blesses all I meet. The subconscious, hearing this, will open channels of circulation, bringing money in ways that benefit both you and others. Abundance is not hoarding, it is flow. To align with flow is to align with life itself. Guard against resentment, for resentment is the hidden thief of wealth. If you envy the prosperous, you declare lack for yourself. If you curse the rich, you close the gates of your own abundance. But if you bless wealth wherever you see it, rejoice in the prosperity of others, and affirm your own, your subconscious aligns with abundance. Say, I rejoice in the prosperity of others. I attract prosperity too. This dissolves envy and impresses wealth, and the subconscious must express it. Remember, you cannot attract what you condemn, but you will always attract what you bless. So I say to you tonight, your fortune lies not in the hands of others, not in the fluctuations of markets, not in the whim of chance. It lies in your own subconscious, waiting for your command. You are the master, and it is the servant. You are the sower, and it is the soil. You are the lawgiver, and it is the executor. Whatever you impress, it must express. If you believe in lack, lack will come. If you believe in abundance, abundance will come. Choose wisely, for the choice is yours alone. Now let us close this journey with a final decree of wealth. Say it with me. I am one with infinite supply. I am a channel of divine prosperity. Money flows to me freely, endlessly, perfectly. I rejoice in my abundance, and I bless the world with it. Say it until your heart believes it. Write it until your mind remembers it. Feel it until your subconscious accepts it. For once accepted, it must be expressed, and your wealth will forever rise as the exact reflection of your thoughts.